Right. I can stop swearing now. Yes, hello everyone. Hey, welcome. It's Fox from Model Making Guru. Big apologies for the nonsense at the start. Sorry, I cleared my throat. Big apologies for that. My upload speed was for some reason balked. And I'm trying to put a stream out at 12,000 kilobits per second, and my upload speed's like 7 meg, and I'm like, yeah, so I'm getting all these error messages. And I had to go and find out what it was, and I had to reboot the router, so I didn't have a chance to do all the stuff I normally do to get ready, like make a massive brew and go for a great big wee and check the stuff on the PC, so apologies for that. Yeah, so yes, I had to give you a little bit of pre-roll there while I do all the stuff that I normally do, I couldn't do for the last 20 minutes. Yeah, so anyway, welcome. Hopefully it all stays fairly stable and you get a nice picture and everything. It was just, my upload speed was reduced for no reason whatsoever. So rebooting the router fixed it, as 99% of things are normally fixed by such things. Anyway, yes, hello and welcome. I'm just making some adjustments, hang on. Welcome to, I nearly said E-Models Monday then. And I've got a tickly throat and I've not got enough coffee. Yes, welcome to Warhammer Sunday, that time of the week when I sit down and crack on with some Warhamster goodness. Do let me know if it's looking and sounding okay. I've got no idea, I assume it is, so do keep me updated. But yes, thank you very much for coming along. I will be cracking on, of course, with my Baneblade. Yes, but before we get going, let me do the usual nonsense. First and foremost, shout outs to all my friends who support this channel directly, my lovely patrons and my lovely YouTube channel members. My patrons who support me by clicking or going to patreon.com/modelmakingguru, and my YouTube channel members who became members by clicking the join button under any of my videos. They support this channel each month. They keep the lights on. They pay for the bills. I earn my living through this channel, so they make that possible. A big massive thank you to them. And also, of course, to my corporate supporters, emodels.co.uk and goblingaming.co.uk. Both of those companies are your one-stop shop for all your tabletop and model making needs. So check out the links in the description below the video for those two guys. And use those links, tell them I sent you, and I get some income from that. Right, a little bit flustered, but I think we're there now. Right, so yes, we're going to crack on with the Baneblade. As always with one of my chats, if you are watching this, it's all about you guys hanging out and chat and having a good time. It doesn't really matter what I'm doing on here. So please, if you are watching this, do come and join the live chat. If you're watching it embedded on Twitter or Facebook or somewhere else, then please do consider clicking on the little YouTube icon that's in the bottom right corner of the YouTube player. That'll take you to the YouTube page where you can carry on watching and you can join in the live chat. And you should join in the live chat because it's where everybody just takes the mickey out of me, and sometimes deservedly so. So it's kind of free reign in there. So it's like kind of Lord of the Flies sometimes, but yes, do come and watch and join in the live chat. So Gutham's keeping an eye on the live chat as always. I will have a quick look and see who is in. And now it doesn't go back all the way because I had to reboot and restart and refresh all the time. So yeah, I didn't know there was a problem until the chat on my iPad kept disconnecting. And I'm like, something's not right here. So I checked out the stream and YouTube saying, why are you only sending us like 2 kilobits per second? And I'm like, wow, that's Lego vision. So I did some checks, and yes, my upload bit stream was terrible. I don't know why. Anyway, first thing I've got is Dad at Scaling Models saying I'm here, so welcome to you, Dad. Thank you for coming along. And Colin, of course, at Festy67's workshop, two of your lovely moderators who will keep you safe in the chat, but don't cross them because they'll snap you in half, set you on fire, and launch you into the sun. We have Mayhem Model Works who says Power Burke. So Andy's in. We have Lynn Dipple is in. Hey Lynn, how you doing? EC Idaho and Space Hamster ZH, welcome to you too. We have Nimcinder in. Someone forgot to feed the hamsters on the power wheel. Yeah. I think the YouTube hamster passed out. 9,000 mince pies is in. Maybe Ted sneaked in and pushed a button. It is entirely possible. Princess Foxy has to get all pretty, says Scale Model Muse. And Space Ham says he's doing his nails apparently. Ironically, one of the things I do during the 15-minute pre-roll is trim my nails so they don't look ganky. I do that. I'm quite particular about that. You know, I can't watch videos where people have got manky hands. It just makes no. So I always trim my nails if they need it while I'm doing the 15-minute countdown. Is make sure everything's working, make sure YouTube's getting the data, just so you know, a little bit behind the scenes. Check I've got everything right on Streamlabs. Make sure YouTube's receiving the data. Check my internet speeds, make sure it's all good. I make myself my enormous brew. Talking of which, om nom nom. Make myself my enormous brew. I also make Mama Brew a brew. Mama Fox a brew, and make sure she doesn't need anything because she's not going to see me for 3 hours. And if she needs me to do something, she's knackered. So I look after Mama Fox. Sort my nails out if I need it. And I get everything ready, get the chat loaded. So there's quite a lot I do in that 15 minutes, which is why I had to let a little bit of it roll just now. So yeah, so when something upsets that, it gets a bit panicky. I don't know, but yes, part of that is, ironically, doing my nails. Because I'm gorgeous, darling. I have to look fantastic for my public, oh yes. I don't. It doesn't really kind of contrast with the big, fat, ugly face, but the gorgeous nails, I know. Who else we got in? We have Skull Model Muse is, I think I mentioned you already, but you're in. Chat's just jumped. Looks and sounds good, says Muse, thank you. Phil East is in, welcome Phil. Common Road Junction says, hey. Roar. We have, who else is coming? Quano Man is in. Dear Lord, everybody take cover. Haha, same actually. I always trim my nails before I record a video, says Space Hamster. You should do. Nothing worse than 20 minutes of close-ups of someone's gunky nails. I mean, I keep my hands and nails clean anyway, just as a matter of, personal hygiene. But yeah, I can't. I like to make sure if all you're going to see of me is my hands, I like to make sure they at least look all right and not like offensive or ginky in some way. Ginky nails is worse. EC Idaho is in. Welcome, EC Idaho. Wayne Haywood as well is in, and Ray Aquilina from Malta is in. Hey Ray, how you doing, my friend? And I think that's everybody. I may have missed some of you. If I have, I do apologise. Do let me know in chat. As always, if you're watching this and you are in the live chat, please do, if you want to catch my attention, I'll have the chat here in front of me. When I put on my little lenses of seeing, that might all be a big blur. So if you want to get my attention in chat, ask me anything you want. It's all about you guys. Ask me questions. Give me things to talk about. Ask me anything you want. No religion, no politics, but anything else is fair game, more or less. Ask me anything, but put your comments in big fat capital letters. Put everything in uppercase so I have a chance to see it in the blur of chat that's over there. But if you want to, you can do a super chat. I've got a burp building up. It's a yesterday's pizza burp, and it's not going to end well. If you want to, you can do a super chat, which you do by clicking on the little dollar symbol that's at the bottom of the chat window, the chat box. That puts your comment in a coloured box and puts an animation up here on the screen up there, and there's no way I can miss your comment then. So you're welcome to do that if you don't have to. But at the very least, put your comment in capital letters, or as Ted says, bold, as Mayhem reminds me. William is in. He says, I'm here, breakfast in hand, Will on a plate. Yes, better to have breakfast in your face, not in your hand. You don't eat with your hand, you eat with your face. Face mouth. Put it in your face mouth. Right, shut up, Fox. I can breathe now. Oh. You know when I have technical issues, because I always a bit hyper when I come first moment when I come on, because I'm like, ah! I don't know. So, what are we going to be doing today? Well, we've built both sides of the Baneblade. We have both sets of running gear for Baneblade. Yeah, beautiful field quality. Feel the muscularity. It's beautiful. I'm just fondling it because it's just the first one ever I built. I'm gonna savour the flavour and enjoy the moment. I'm going to rub it lovingly. Yes. Anyway, stop doing that. It's wrong. So we've done the 2 bits of running gear. We now need to crack on with the bits that go in between, which is basically everything else. So we need to start with the floor. The floor. And then the glasses plate, and then the upper hull. Now, I'm not going to be doing the Octoblade where I do 8 different variations, so I'm not going to be magnetising stuff. And this is my first Baneblade. It's really a test run. I'm going to get this and painted it up. Mayhem says, look at the tangularity. I'm sorry if I go a bit loud. I'm all hyper now from stressing. Yes, this is my first ever Baneblade. I'm building this for my Deathcore Krieg army, sort of. So I'm just building it as one variant, and I'm just getting used to the model so that in the future, when I build more of these to build and paint and sell, I know how to build it quickly. So this is my test run. It's my test flight. I'm building it and making mistakes and seeing what needs to be done, what bits I can skip, what bits I can streamline. So I'm not going to be doing all different 8 versions in this. I'm not doing an Octoblade. One day I might do an Octoblade and sell it for millions of pounds, because that's what you can do. For this one, I'm just building it so I can experience building it and painting it. I want to wipe my nose because I've got the runny nose already. God damn it. Ah, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, how is everybody? I hope you're all well. I hope you're all good today. I know a lot of you have just come from Colin Dave's stream, which I watched as well. Jolly, I do enjoy watching the Sunday brunch. You've got a good vibe going on there, Col. So I hope you're all well, and some of you come across from that. I have many sprues. I must put these to one side for the moment while I clean some parts. Clean your parts! Got space on this desk for all the things. So I need the floor panels, which are going to be on a sprue, but not necessarily a labelled sprue. I need that one piece there. So I need that sprue. What else do I need? Now I'm making the Baneblade or Hellhammer variant, although I may add some extra bits to it just for funsies. But we'll see. We need that's the glasses plate on that sprue. I need the 2 floor pieces which are there. Floor piece! Reginald floor piece! I need the front piece of armour, the bit that goes on the front of the glasses plate, which is... You have to do this by basic sight. I don't need that piece, because most of the parts aren't numbered, which is super helpful. That's all sponsor stuff on there. That's gun pieces, so I'm going for the minute. That's turrety bits and more glasses plates, so it's not on there. Where is this part now? Oh, Games Workshop. I need those 2 pieces, and there it is. It's there. It's there. Quite a thin piece. I think it's that piece. It looks like it, yes. So both floor pieces, the front, the rear, which I don't need just yet, and these 2 reinforcing struts. Okay, let's get some bits cut off the sprue. Anyway, yes, I hope you're all well and fine and dandy. Hope you're all having a good day today. It's nearly Christmas, so hopefully some of you are now getting some time off work. I know not all of you are, but I hope some of you are getting some time off work if you've still been working. Everything's changed around here a bit, so anybody of you hoping to visit family, I hope either it's still possible given your local constraints, or, you know, not so bad if you can't. What's been going on here? Not a lot. Of course, yesterday and Friday I did my Quest for the Black Hole Elite Dangerous streams. I am absolutely knackered after doing those. It was 2 streams of 6 hours, yesterday and Friday. Thoroughly enjoyable. I had a great time. There's many more to come because I didn't get very far. I got virtually nowhere. So yeah, there'll be many more of them. But thank you to everyone who watched. So I did that on Thursday and Friday. Other than that, during the week though, I really haven't had time to get much done this week. I know I keep saying I need to crack on with the Lehman Russ, the Tabletop Trauma Centre. But just, especially at this time of year, real world stuff and family stuff is just kind of taking over at the minute. So not really had a whole mess of time. So literally got nothing done this week apart from those streams, which is frustrating, but it's the way it goes sometimes. I need this glasses plate here. I think this is the glasses plate, or it's the bit that goes above this is the glasses plate. Can't find it. There it is. That bit which is still attached. So other than that, streams on Friday, Saturday, and this today. That's kind of it this week. It's just been real world personal stuff all week. So yeah, not really a lot to report this week I've been doing, unfortunately. I'm going to clean these up and then I'll need to get my glass cutting board. Who would have guessed? Hey Chris, Chris is in. Who would have guessed as Gross Models that Fox didn't make it to Sagittarius A-star? Well, it's like 20,000 light years away from our current position, and I'm doing like 30 or 40 jumps in a 6-hour show, so it was asking quite a fair bit to get all the way there. To be fair, I'm currently in the Norma Expanse, part of the Milky Way galaxy. And I've got about 230 jumps to get to my waypoint, which is a nebula in the Arcadian something. It's another part of the Milky Way. And then that's about halfway to Sagittarius A-star from where I am now. So yeah, it's going to take a while to get there, because I'm obviously stopping and scanning planets and stuff where I need to. I'm trying to maximise my income from doing that, but also I'm talking to the people watching and everything else. So it is taking a while, and it will take me a while to get there. I need to put my lenses on. So for the foreseeable, we shall have some replacement of the Fallouts and the Skyrims with Elite Dangerous, just till I get to Sagittarius A-Star. Just until then. Oh, what we got? Lynn Dipple. Oh, Lynn, thank you very much. $30. Merry Christmas, Fox and Mama Fox. Oh, thank you very much, Lynn. Thank you, thank you. That's very sweet of you. That's a super chat, by the way, folks. That's how I know when somebody does a super chat, because I can see that and I hear that did then. Thank you very much, Lynn. That's very, very sweet of you. I really, really appreciate that. That'll come in quite handy for Christmas. Yay. Thank you very much. Awesome. It'll be very helpful over Christmas. We need to get some shopping and stuff done at some point, so that'll come in handy for foods. I thank you very greatly. Yeah, so not been up to a lot this last week or two. I've had really, apart from this is kind of all the time I've had at the bench, unfortunately, so yeah. Where are we? Glass cutting board? He means Mama Fox's glass board, says Mayhem. Yes, Mama Fox's former glass cutting board. Shh. Don't tell her. She never watches this stream, so you don't watch my stuff. You don't care about my stuff. Yeah, it's a former breadboard, cutting board, which is not. I don't know why I'm cleaning these up. These go inside and they're just purely structural. I don't need to clean those up. Yes, what else has been going on? So not really anything to report the last few weeks. Now this, the two streams I did on Friday and Saturday, the Black Hole, Quest for the Black Hole streams, they will be my last Friday and Saturday streams for a couple of weeks. Because next Friday and Saturday, of course, is Christmas and Boxing Day. I think, or Thursday and Friday, one of the two. And then the weekend after that is New Year's. So, probably I won't be doing any weekend streams. I'll probably still do Warhammer Sunday on Sunday. It's not like we're going to have family turning up. So Warhammer Sunday next Sunday will probably be on because it's just Sunday. Yeah. So, because we're not having family turning up. So we'll probably be here next Sunday for Warhammer Sunday. But Friday and Saturday, yeah, probably won't be streaming. Christmas Day and Boxing Day, so yes. So this might be the those two elite streams might be the last ones for a couple of weeks. So we'll carry on with that journey across the Milky Way. I hope you enjoy it. If any of you watching now watched, I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting, and it probably wasn't, but I hope it was nice to have on in the background. I mean, if it was complete garbage and none of you liked it, just let me know and I'll stop doing it, because there's no point me streaming if nobody wants to watch it. And it's not the most exciting of things, watching Elite Dangerous. I have posted up some screenshots that I took during the show, during the Thursday and Friday show. I've posted them up on my page and the Boom Hut and everywhere else on the social media, so do feel free to take a look. It doesn't half produce some nice screenshots, that game. It can make a pretty picture. Let's get these off with the nipulons first. So yes, anyway, so what have you guys been up to? Especially if I haven't seen you in the last couple of days. What have you been up to? How's your week gone this week? What are you doing this weekend? Of course, the most important question that I can always ask is bench and belly, because it's a model making stream. So bench and belly, what are you working on right now? It doesn't have to be a plastic model, of course. It can be any kind of craft or art or creative thing. What are you working on right now? And what are you planning for your dinner? Or what have you had for your dinner? I have an email. Why do I have an email? Who's mailing me? Oh yes. My Amazon order is shipped. Woohoo! That would be exciting if it wasn't just deodorant. Best time of the year to run out of deodorant, or start to run out of deodorant? 4 or 5 days before Christmas. Brilliant. Yeah. But yeah, so what are your dinner plans? Now, I have to report yesterday, during the live stream yesterday, we were having discussions about food, as we are wont to do during my live streams. And I had various things planned for dinner. And throughout the course of the stream, we ended up talking about pizza. And I remarked during the stream that suddenly, whatever I had planned for dinner was irrelevant, and all I wanted was pizza. And even though I hate paying Domino's pizza prices, I wanted Domino's pizza. Well, I have to report that we did in fact have pizza for dinner. Now, it was takeaway pizza, but it wasn't Domino's. For some reason, I couldn't get an order through from Domino's. I couldn't get anyone to deliver it, either through Domino's or through Just Eat or Uber or anything like that. It was like, okay, so I got for Pizza Hut instead. I'm not the biggest fan of Pizza Hut, but they're all right. So I ordered a pizza, and yeah, it didn't end well. I ordered a make it your own job, so it had, what did it have? It was obviously a big fat cheese and tomato base with the extra mozzarella cheese stuffed crust. It was the thick base, not the thin base, because thin crust pizza's for losers. You want proper thick fatness. Not for losers, but you know, why would you want a thin pizza base when you can have big fat pizza base? It's more. More is always better. So I had that. We had on it, there was chicken, there was ground beef, there was onion, there was peppers, not chilies, but very mild. Well, there was mild chilies. I didn't want hot burny chilies because I just wanted to eat the pizza. So I had some mild chilies. And what else was there? There was there was no option to have anchovies, which was a shame because I love anchovies. There was no option for tuna, which was a shame because I love tuna. What else do we have? There were some other bits and bobs, sweet corn and some other ingredients. And it was basically a mix and match. Mix and match, like make your own pizza kind of thing. Because all the stuff they had was kind of boring. Oh, bacon as well, of course. Bacon, obviously. So anyway, ordered that. 12-inch is a large, which I assume is a 12-inch pizza, 10 slices. And that turned up. And because for the last sort of 6-7 months, I've been on a hopefully cholesterol busting, low-fat diet. Or rather, I've had to stop eating all the fatty stuff. I've gone for lean meats and cereals and things now. I've got to get my cholesterol down if I don't want to go onto medications. It's the first proper fat-ass pizza I've had since then, in a good 6 to 8 months. And I think my body's just got to the point where it's like, no. It's so used to not having something that stodgy and dense that my body's like, no. So I ate it. It was not enjoyable. The flavours were fine, but for some reason it was kind of chewy. Now that could just be a Pizza Hut thing, I don't know, but it was like trying to pull the pizza apart. But shortly afterwards, and straight through to now even, my body's like, yeah, you're not doing that again. Here are some consequences. I just felt rough as a badger's backside afterwards. I'm like, oh, I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh, it feels like I was on the beers last night, but I wasn't. So I think my body has just learned to has forgotten how to cope with stodgy, high fat, high starch, high whatever's in that pizza stuff. So that's my lesson learned now. I can't do that anymore. So from now on, I'll have to go for the thin crust, I guess. Oh, damn it. But yeah, so I'm a bit broken this morning. I was like, oh, that didn't go down well. Quick look at chat, because I've missed chat for a bit. Chat seems to have jumped again. There's Lynn's super chat. Thank you again, Lynn. Been tempted to take a chainsaw to the main distribution frame lately, but that would mean more work putting it right, says B3. What? I don't know what that means. You talked about network stuff. Much engineer, such service. Wow, says Mayhem. I've lost the conversation somewhere. Somewhere? No, somewhere even. B3 says, finally got some primer on my 2 hover blades. I am looking forward to having a few hours spare over Christmas to do some actual paintage. I know, I'm shocked myself. Yeah, you're not going to do paintage. Work has been mad lately, says B3. Oh, there, so he's been tempted to take chainsaw to the main distribution frame. There you go. Yeah, it was all like exchange and network stuff. Telecoms goodness. I'll be working Christmas, says Lynn. Sorry to hear that, Lynn, but you are doing a valuable job, so we salute you for your valuable job. Vamp is in. Welcome, Vamp. How you doing, my friend? Lynn says, Belly Honey Nut Cheerios bench. I have 10 more days to have it cleaned up. You're just not going to clean it up, Lynn. You say that. You've been saying that for like 2 years. You're not going to. It's not going to happen. I've made a terrible coffee. Oh, I love my Darragbert's Gold, and I got this little tin of like Colombian stuff in the hamper that we got for Christmas, and I kind of got to like that, and now I can't stomach the Darragbert's Gold. The problem is I've got like 3 tins of Darragbert's Gold that big, That'll last me like 6 months. Yeah, I've got to get back into liking Diagonix Gold again, so... Belly will be last night's takeaway leftovers, and the bench is a bomb site. I just finished a build and having a big clean up. It says Philly. Yeah, there's nothing worse than when you're in the middle of a build and you've got paint and bits everywhere. It gets quite mojo busting, but when you finish and you clean it, your mojo comes back. Steve says, bench is the freshly primed AT crane, which is an AT-AT chopped off at the top, and he's put a crane thing like in the Mandalorian. Also, Mandalorian, no spoilers, but that last episode, I hope you watched after the titles. I'm not going to tell anything. Don't put any spoilers in chat because people haven't watched it yet. But when you watch the final episode of the current season, make sure you watch to the end of the titles. That's all I'm going to say. No spoilers in chat. Anybody puts a spoiler in chat, I would ask one of the mods to kick them out because it's a dumb thing to do. Don't spoil it for anyone. But yeah. Where are we up to? I don't know. Take a couple of Sundays off and have my job taken off me. Wibble, says Dad at Scaly Models. Wait, what? What have I missed? What did I do? What did I do now? I've lost it now. I don't know what that was. Belly, crispy, spicy skillet potatoes with cheese and sour cream, toast, cheese, omelette, and now I need more coffee, says William Rayborn. And William Rayborn does it correctly because he puts all the food in. Doesn't tell me what's on his bench, but we don't really care about the bench, really. It's just about the food. Has anybody ever sold bits or greebles I'm amassing a bit too much and not using them much, says Phil East. Yeah, you buy bags of stuff on eBay all the time. Especially Warhammer, but even not Warhammer, just bag of, greebles. Plug them on eBay. EC Idaho says, belly, potato chips and dip for breakfast. Oh, good girl. Bench Airfix 176 Sherman. Graham M is in. Welcome, Graham. He says, hey everyone, belly, a nice bottle of beer from Alsace. Bench just finished a Lego Chevy Camaro, now doing a Lego Mclaren Senna. Yeah. Candygram says, bench Apollo 1100th lunar lander, Mexican company Lodelo, vintage awful plastic that shatters when gazed upon. Oh dear. And belly omelette with mushrooms, peppers and spinach, prepared the way my dog likes it because we share. Aww. I hope you put pictures of your dog in the boom hut in the past. If not, I want pictures of your dog in the boom hut. If any of you got dogs, you need to put pictures in the boom hut. You all have my permission now. Somebody can start a mega thread of dogs and cats. I want to see your puppers and kitters. In fact, one of the mods, if you would do me a favour and go and start a thread now in the boom hut with puppers and kitties. I want to see your animals. I want to see your any animal. I want to see your animals in the boom hut. If you're not in the boom hut, I'll put the link in the chat now if my buttons are working. Yes, my buttons are working. If you're not in the boom hut, go and join the boom hut. You should be in the boom hut. The boom hut's brilliant. You should be there. Shut up. Go and do it now. Go and do it now. Don't give me no arguments. Someone will start a thread, a big mega thread of puppers and kittens and things. I don't have any pets. I'd love a pet, but we don't have any. I still haven't got a cat. Belly leftover birthday cake from Thursday. Happy birthday, Timothy. Welcome, and happy birthday. I like the little subtle way you leftover birthday cake from Thursday. I like the way you did that. You get 10 points for that. Bench just finished a Canoness, and now I'm going to start an Imagifier. I'm going to guess, is that Warhammer? I'm not sure. He says yes. I think I've fallen in love with Sororitas. Oh yes, he's making some Adeptus Sororitas. Yeah. Oh yeah. I must get some at some point. They look fantastic. Not the old stuff, which looks terrible, but the new stuff. No spoilers, please, says Lynn. Nuns with guns, says Mayhem to Timothy. They pretty much are. B3 talks about his AT crane. So I don't know how much it actually resembles the proper one, but it was a fun thing to try and replicate. It's pretty good, actually. You did bench and belly instead of Mike. Oh, I see. Oh, sorry. I always assumed that Dad's asked it earlier on, and I'm just repeating it, really. I'm going to put the Canoness in the boom hut momentarily. Yes, very nice car, the Mclaren Senna. Oh, yes. Yes. Right, anyway, I need to get cracking. I have actually been to the McLaren factory. And I have seen them making McLarens. And yeah, it's quite amazing. The actual factory floor. It's the cleanest place I've ever been. Because we went to the McLaren. Can I get it off the bench without knocking things over? Hang on. I've told you this before, and I've put pictures up before, but if I can get this off here without breaking everything. Maybe, hang on. Maybe not. Oh, what's going on here? Oh, I don't know. Hang on. I don't think I Get off. We were matron. Matron! Is that on top? No. Hang on a minute, folks. I'm attached to something. What am I doing here? Right. What am I doing here? Question I've asked many times. Okay, I've got no idea how. Okay, it's not going to happen. I was going to show you my Mclaren visitor's pass that I've got. Never mind, I can't get it off my lamps. Yes, I went to visit. I visited the Mclaren headquarters a few years ago with a friend who was doing some artwork for them on a special VIP thing, and I got to wander around the factory. It was fantastic. So clean. You could eat your food off the floor, and it was the quietest place I've ever been to as well, especially for a factory floor. Deathly quiet. And I have to say, with no interest in motorsport, the collection of, cars was beautiful. But for all their pomp and circumstance and glam and glitz, their food was terrible. The food, the little vol au vent and nibbles and things we had with our glass of champagne, it was awful. Cheap, catered in food. It was horrible. Where are we? Am I still an invasive species or am I on the not allowed list, says Mayhem. I don't know what that's about. Where can I find The Mandalorian to watch? It's time for new series, says Vamp. It's on Disney Plus or other places that we can't necessarily promote because they're not technically legal. But I'm sure you can find it. I'm not going to say where I watch it because I don't have Disney Plus. Just leave it at that. And Inos Glued. Thanks, Foxy. Thank you, matey, says Vamp. What? Canoness is up. Feel free to poke fun at my mediocre painting skills, says Timothy. We don't do that in the Boom Hut. That's the beauty of the Boom Hut. They might occasionally say, looks good. Have you thought about doing this, this or this to make it even better? They might give you suggestive hints, but nobody will ever take the mickey out of you. Now, these two pieces here, they have literally, quite literally no things to attach. There's just an edge and an edge. That's it. That is the entire shizzle. That's it. Which is why you get these two pieces. Quite literally to reinforce across this join here. That's what they're for. This is why I've got the glass cutting mat, because that is literally it. Now I'm going to glue this together. It says in the instructions. Nim says that the model Mayhem's been tagged and released, so we should be okay. Well done. We don't have Disney Plus here. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it says here to put these two into there first, and then glue them in situ. But I don't want to do that because that's just, if I glue them on there, it's going to fall off. So I'm going to put them here first. I'm on this glass plate. Get it nice and flat and stable, but give it a minute to sort of set a bit. Then I can lift it up, and it'll still have some flex to it. Then I can start locking it into the tractor, into the trailer units. Into the, you know what I mean. Hang on, let me have a swig of coffee because I'm clearly talking nonsense. 12 hours of streaming in the last 24 hours, 48 hours, and I'm knackered. And that coffee is horrible. Yeah. There's biting going on. There's always biting going on. Right. Yes, I visited the factory, the showroom, not the showroom, the factory and the headquarters. That's all looks like a Bond villain lair. And it was a great place. It was really good. I didn't know anything about anything. I'm not into motorsport. My friend Nikki is an artist, and she did some artwork for them, and she's a big fan of Mclaren. She had an exhibition there of her artwork that she did for them, and we got to go along. I got many, many, many photographs of all the cars there. I got to look into, if you ever go to the Mclaren headquarters, if it's still there, but they used to have all these little sections where the glass you walk around and the glass in some of the windows is frosted, because that's the super secret bit where you're not allowed to see what they're doing, because it's all like designing the cars for the next year's season. And you can't see through that frosted glass. You really can't see, unless you go up to the catwalk at the top, which you can't do if you're just a visitor, a normal chud visitor, because then you can see right over the frosted glass. And I said, it's kind of ironic that I'm, very rarely privileged to see beyond that frosted glass. And I haven't got a clue what I'm looking at because I've got no interest in it. my friend Nikki, she's like, I wanted you to come, but I knew none of it would mean anything to you. So it's like, you're like the least relevant person to go to Mclaren. But I said, no, I enjoyed it. I like a pretty car. So I'll give that a minute. Muse says, not from me, Foxy. I've lost track now. I always wonder what those bits are for. Makes perfect sense that they reinforce the floor and explains why one of my hoverblades is a bit wonky, says B3. Oh yeah, that's what these are for. I have seen people put other bits... Oh, I don't want to do it. Other bits of... nothing really I can... Other bits of plastic on it to give it even more strength, but I think once it's in situ, it should be fine. I'm putting that on there just to go across that gap and hopefully keep it level. There's not a lot of options here. I can't put it that way because they've got raised details, and this is too long. I need to get one of these half as long, basically. I work there, Fox, says Lee Eagles. Cool! I assume it's the same. This is going back to 20... It's got a date on my thing. 2013, 2014. I can't get the thing off my lamp. Let me try again. Hang on. Let me try again. Determined. Let's get it off. Hang on, hang on. Ooh. Right, let me use my brain. I know it's a big ask. Don't understand how that's going to try and get it. Hang on, let's move these out of the way. Put them there. Doing thinking now. Oh, 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 oh. Hang on. Huge success, I think. No, yes. No. Hang on. Hang on. After all that, it's filthy and dirty and covered in dust. But yeah, I don't know why they let you keep them because they're kind of nice plastic. Yeah, that's my Mclaren guest pass from many, many years ago. Many, probably about 2014, 2013 or something. Lee, I don't know if they've still got Nicky Douthwaite's pictures, the dot pictures of everybody there then, of all the drivers. I don't know, they might still have those. If I know they had some financial difficulties, but yeah, my friend is Nicky's the artist that did all that artwork, so we had a special event, like a little exhibition, and I got that and a book, and I got loads of lovely photographs. So yeah, that's been hanging on my lamp for the last 5 or 6 or 7 years. But yeah, I mean, I'm no interest in motorsport, but man, some of those cars are beautiful. Some of the classic cars they've got, and that factory floor. Oh. Wow, it was just amazing. It was so clean and pristine and quiet. And there was like a bit over on the side where there were blokes doing the machine polishing on the paint to get it nice and smooth. And they're like in a soundproof area because you couldn't hear it at all. And at the time I was working as a detailer, so I knew all about machine polishing paint. You know what I mean? I know how it sounds like. It's amazing. So yes. Right, so that actually sits on there quite nicely, to be honest. Sits by itself, look at that. So where are we up to? I'm 36 going on 12, says Timothy. Yes, we're all going on about 11 or 12. I started there in 2018, says Lee. Cool. What are you doing in that place? Oh, there it goes. Oh, I see. It's got little slots. There you go. Didn't worry. It's got little slots, little tabs. What is it you do there, Lee? Are you on the manufacturing side or the not manufacturing side? If you want to say, you don't have to. Had an old 2-foot-tall toy xenomorph and had it hanging in the rafters of the garage. Freaked my wife out every time she parked the car, says ECI. I think I'm missing half of the conversation here. Am I? I'm in live chat. I've not seen any pictures. Okay, they might not have them, but basically they were big, like, you know, 5 foot by 10 foot portraits of the drivers, made out of dots. I assume they're still there. She did a load for the people there. They may not be there anymore. I don't know. I'm going to buy some off her. But they hosted a little exhibition, so because she is a big McLaren fan. When I built mine up, I built the tub and the side in sub-assemblies and then drilled holes through the points where those two sub-assemblies... hang on, chat's going off the side of the thing there. Sub-assemblies meet and secured it with nails friction fitted, says Powerwolf. Hey, Powerwolf. What, for this? Yeah. I'm just building it as a single static model, so that'll be a neat place to visit, says Lynn. Ray says, wow, you work in the workshop. Wow. Well, we assume it's the workshop. It might not be. Right, so this needs to go on the front. So this is the front armour there. That goes in there like that. And that just stays in by itself, to be perfectly honest. Make sure I get it the right way up with the Aquila facing that way, obviously. Obvs. So that will sit in there. And then this is the glasses plate, which needs to go there like that. Okay, so that's kind of nice and crisp. Now at this point, if you're building one of the variants, if I remember rightly, this bit is a bit that changes. If you build different variants, if you build the Baneblade, it's this piece that goes here. Or the Hellhammer. If you build some of the other ones, it has a completely different sort of front piece and glasses plate that goes there. So, yeah, I build the road cars in the production line. Cool, I've been there. It looks awesome. It was very quiet. I'm making a possible facehugger, but it's a bit bigger than it should be because I fudged the measuring. Looks the part there. It says B3. Cool. Radio controlled Baneblades and Lehman Rust tanks would be awesome, says Timothy. Oh yeah, I don't have any kind of skills like that. So I think what we can do is we can just go ahead and get this glued on. I think it'd be more than reasonable to glue this in place, although, having said that, yeah, we've got the glass plate. I want to very quickly do a dry test though and just see, do these actually, have I got my tracks lined up properly? Or have I got some wonk going on? Okay, that's looking pretty good. Not looking too bad. I wanted to make sure I didn't have a track pointing like that. You don't really want camber on your tracks. It's not really what you want, really. So we can go ahead and glue these because I don't care. I'm just building as a static model. We'll just run some extra thin down this gap. Yeah, so the place itself, the Mclaren factory was fantastic, and the hospitality suite and stuff. Food, no, food weren't great. I've had better catered in food on corporate training sessions working for cable companies than I had the food that they gave us. But never mind, it's not the end of the world. I wasn't there for the free food. Well, I was there for the free food. Let's just be honest. Let's not lie, Fox. You were there for the free food. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I was there for the free food. My friend Nikki, she says to me, I know you have no interest in Formula One or McLaren or cars or anything like that, but it's kind of a once in a lifetime thing and there might be decent food. And I'm like, I'm in. You said enough words there. The words being decent food. All you needed to say is free food. I'm there. I'm there. I'm already in the building. What? This needs to go that way. Slot that in there. Fits together like a glove. These do go on really nicely. Fit is fantastic. Oh, Games Workshop, you do spoil us sometimes. That can sit on there. Some glue down the inside. Can sit there. Touch of glue around there, just to lock it in. Can sit like that. And then we can place on the other side. You'll see, yeah, das ist richtig. So that can sit there. That can go on like that. Need to wiggle it a little. Wiggle it just a little bit to make it fit. Wiggle it just a little bit to make it fit. Apologies for my rings making lots of noises on the side there. It's kind of annoying. I'm going to turn that round that way. I don't expect, I mean, I could be shooting myself in the ass here, but I don't expect there to be any major fit issues because that's gone together so nicely and there's so little hassle that I think the job might be a good one. I'm going to check the layout of the tracks, make sure they're both, oh yes! Yes! Both tracks are absolutely flat on the glass surface. They're not like that. They're not like, oh, there's no camber to them. They're perfectly flat. And I am the happiest of happy bunnies. Happy times. Right. Now I need to work quickly now because I need to put the rear armour on. I want to do it quickly because I need to have some wiggle here. So, find that. Now it's hard to like mistake this back armour because it looks so distinctive. All that filigree and beautiful work on there. So much fun painting that Mechanica stuff. Yes. Have a look at chat in a second. Apologies if I'm not paying attention to you. I need to get this off quickly and into place. Can go over that. Go. Very quickly, flip me down my bits. Flip your bits down. Flip your nippy bits. I can't afford to move that off the glass here because I need to make sure it stays straight and true. Yeah, so that pizza last night, it was pleasant enough, but by God, my body can't deal with that kind of stuff anymore. It's like I've been trying to do a burp for the last 4 hours, but it's one of those burps that you think you want to burp, but it's like, it's not coming. It's just got too much to work through. The gas is just stuck. Ain't going nowhere. So we'll just trim these nubs off quickly. Work quickly, my child. Yeah, I quite like the look of some of the Adeptus Sororitas stuff. If you don't know your Warhammer, Adeptus Sororitas are like, there are no female Space Marines, and that's limited to the fact, that's purely down to lore, that Space Marines are based on the DNA of the Emperor himself. There's the gene seed, which is derived from the Emperor and from the Primarchs that the Emperor made with his own DNA. So they're all male, because he's a male. But there is the Adeptus Sororitas, which is, I keep saying Adeptus, it's Adepta. Adeptus Sororitas, which is basically female nuns in power armor, not genetically modified or not massively, enhanced like Space Marines. They're just kind of normal people, basically, for the most part. A little bit twiddled, but not much. And they are super zealous in their love for the Emperor and support of the Emperor. So they're basically hardcore, but they wear power armor. And they're just kick-ass. And they've had very little representation in the models over the years. Although in the last couple of years they have started releasing figures and vehicles and kits and stuff. But they've been in like the codices and stuff to play, but they've had very few models. There were some metal figures a while ago, from like 20 years ago, and that's kind of all you've had. I particularly like their Rhino that's got like all the stained glass on it. That's just obscurely ridiculous. I think they're enhanced, but only a little tiny bit. Not like we're not talking Space Marine enhanced here. Little line there, but I don't know if it's a sculpted line, or if it's meant to be there, or if it's just. No, we'll leave it. We'll leave it for now. Right, so that's that. Clean that off. There you go, Kenneth. I'm using it properly. This can now go onto the back. Those plonks onto the back. Like this, you see. Zip. Like a glove. Oh, this is looking big now. There's starting to be some bigitude. Make sure that's... Oh, clunk. Make sure that's smooth. Bigulosity is occurring. Like a glove, just beautifully, no problem at all, fits like an absolute glove. I can't keep saying like a glove, but it does just fit like a glove. Apart from that bit that doesn't. There we go. Oh. There's something slightly trouser tenty about the way this is going together so nicely. Might be a bit of mild assembly trouser tenting occurring. I mean, I'm a painter, not a builder, as I say every time. But even I can appreciate a good assemble. I can be really handy with the glue here because it's inside and nobody's ever going to see in here. Squish. Just lock it all together. Make sure that's all lined up. Oh, it's a big chicken. Oh, looking big now. It's looking a bit large. Large. It's well large, isn't it? And that went together beautifully. When you think, given the fact that that entire floor panel, the lower hull, the floor of the hull there, had no attachment points. It was just two pieces with those two sticks. And yet, that's just gone together better than any other tank I've ever made. That's just incredibly nicely put together. Now, you do have this join here. Frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn, because A, it's underneath. I do like the fact they give you all this detail underneath, which you're never going to see. I mean, you might see it a little bit, but you've got this little join here, but, you know, to be honest, it doesn't really matter. It's underneath. It's going to be covered in mud anyway. Bigly. So I'm going to leave that for a minute to dry while I have a look at chat. Ray says, wow, you are lucky men. I've really lost track. Am I missing half the comments here? I'd love to work at Mclaren instead of Jeff Bezos' salt mine, says Timothy. Oh dear. Imagine if Bandai took over engineering and production of Warhammer models. They wouldn't be much better. They'd be about as good. Because I've always said that Bandai are the best engineered models you can get in terms of, you know, the push fit kits. Nobody makes models, engineers models as well as Bandai. However, I would say Games Workshop for glue kits are the equivalent of Bandai. They go, for the most part, most of them do go together so nicely that, yeah. I would love if Games Workshop branched out of all their Warhammer stuff and actually made normal model kits. Like, imagine if Games Workshop started making just regular, say, 135th World War II armour, or fighter planes, or modern military stuff, not for tabletop play, just for models. That'd be incredible. That'd be amazing. Right, so I've got a bit of a finger blob there with some glue, but I can sand that later. Hoping that's in the right place. Yes. Right, so what's next? Okay, well, next we need to leave that for a minute, and then we need to do the top armour here. Want to be burpage. Burpage. The prices would probably be terrifying if Games Workshop stuff was Bandai standard. Oh god, yeah. If it like had all these things. Imagine this is a perfect grade with all the bits that open and stuff. Yeah. Nuns are way more terrifying than normal people, especially if they're wearing power armour. Went to a Catholic school briefly, says B3. Oh yeah, nuns with guns. Good. Here's a question. None with a gun. Good or bad? Discuss. Those nuns obviously did not wear Catholic schoolgirl outfits, did they? Says Muse to B3. And says, nope, and you wouldn't have wanted them to either, Vamp. Yes. It's a wonder I turned out as normal and well adjusted as I am after a year of torture at their hands. Yeah, the nuns at my Catholic school are really nice, says Timothy. Yes. Right, swig of coffee. Oh. Oh, God. I need to get back into drinking. I nearly called it D'Agostini. I nearly called it that yesterday, D'Agostini. No, it's Dagberts. There we go. Right, so next we have the big toppy armour. Toppy. Look at that. Look at that. Oh. This is just massive trouser tent time. It's something I've had in my stash for a while and something I wanted to build forever. That's a lie, because I didn't know about Warhammer, but yeah, you know what I mean. And it's just massive. One thing I do need to do is, before we glue the top hull on, what size is that? That's too small. Let's get the big one. Do. I should have done this before I glued this thing in, really, to make it easier to draw, but let's stick a signature on it. I can't really draw much in here, so I can't get his ears in very easily. I've got things to look at, but it's a bit rubbish. There you go. Bit rubbish that, never mind. It all went completely wrong. Never mind. Oh, that's terrible. There you go. That's the worst drawing of Fox I've ever done. That's pretty bad. But I'm trying to do it over the edge of that, so it could be worth millions in a few years. Don't worry about it. And I'll do a proper signature here. There we go. Done. I don't even know what that says. It's supposed to be my signature, but it's not really my signature. It's not my actual, you can't forge anything with that. That's not my actual signature. Yeah. Let's hope that's never visible. Right. Next, we have some bits and bobs. Looks great, Fox, says Lynn. I'm going to change my name, says Vamp. None with a gun. It really does look like an awesome kit, says Phil. It is so far. I'm having great fun with it. Right, next bit. No mistake in this bit on the sprue. We need this, and we need... I'll put that there. I mean, that's just rigid as now. That's literally not going anywhere. That's... I mean, we're hoping this now fits perfectly. It better bloody add. So we need this bit. It's a wibble, says Vamp. I don't know. I think I'm missing half the chat comments because most of them make no sense to me at all. I'm like, what? Either that or I'm just still really tired from streaming all weekend and I'm like, I don't know anymore. So yes, pizza was yesterday and I regret every minute of it. We need this piece here. I assume it's this piece. Again, not numbered. But big fat gun. The gun of much fatness. Front cannon that goes on the glasses plate. And we need this bit here, which I assume is this. Just zoom in on the instructions. Is that, which looks like, yeah, it looks like that. Plate here. I think that's what this is. This is the downside of it not being numbered. I think it's this piece, but I mean, I could go through all the sprues one by one and check, but yeah, I really can't be doing with that. That goes there. We'll take this glass away. Take this glass away. George is in. Hey, George. Hello, George, my friend. How you doing, buddy? Not seen you for a while. Welcome, welcome. Hope you are well, my friend. So we have that. We have these little bits here. We need all the little bits of gothic nonsense. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 little bits of... Oh, please don't tell me they've all got nubs around the edge of them. Oh, thank God. All these little sort of gothic arched windows. I had this horrible thought they'd have little studs all around them. And it would have taken me weeks to clean them all up. Thankfully, they don't. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Where does the other one go? Is that a spare? Could be a spare, I suppose. 1, 2. Just going to cut these off roughly for the moment, and then we'll sort them out in a minute. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I missed a T off the end. Right. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I've always said that Games Workshop are second only to Bandai. Where's me Sandy map? So it would be amazing. I think it would be amazing if Games Workshop branched out into just non-tabletop stuff, just for purely for money reasons, to make kits for people to make. I'd just lap that up, especially with the quality of their figures. I mean, the sculpts of their figures are some of the best in the business. If they made actual figures at realistic 1/35th scale, for example, imagine they made, like, you know, World War II stuff or modern day military or anything, whatever they made a model of, it'd be insane. Especially when you see where they came from. You know, the early stuff that Games Workshop did was kind of pants. I mean, the early metal stuff was horrible. But then as plastic came in, they started to gain an understanding of, you know, how to do things, knocking the camera, sorry. And then as you know, metal phased out and plastic became the norm, and they got electronic sort of, you know, computer-based CAD design, they really hit their stride. And some of their designs now are just incredible. Oh, hello. Stuck to my finger and I pinged it off across the table. There. Get my head in shot onto. I shall have a look at chat in a moment. I hope you're doing well, George. How you doing, my friend? Welcome along to the craziness. I shall check out the chat in a moment. I can't see it because I've got my flippy flappy. I don't know where that went. I've got my flippy flappies down, so I can't see anything beyond about here. They're pinging everywhere. Every time I walk in this room now without shoes on, I'm going to be like, stab, ow, nub, stab, nub, ow. Thanks, Obama. So tonight, for dinner, yes. I did ask this question a long time ago. Tonight for dinner, because we had the pizza last night and I regret every minute of it. Tonight's plan is Fox's mess with the hot dogs, because I realise we do have a couple of tins of hot dogs left. So it's hot dogs with the Fox's mess tonight. Yeah. Which is just wholesome. Apart from the hot dogs, which are probably not very wholesome. It's fairly wholesome. Because it's all brown rice and vegetables. Brown rice and carrots and onions and potatoes. So it's all fairly healthy. Apart from the hot dogs bit. I think it's Ye Old Oak hot dogs. If any are in the UK, you know what that means. Quick look at chat. Mein Lieben, says Mayhem. Why? How are you all today, says George. I'm fine, thank you, George. Totally non-model question. Do you think a cell phone in hands could draw a lightning bolt down? Asking for a friend, says Vamp. No. Probably not. Probably will make no difference at all, because if your entire body is the path of least resistance, the reason you get hit by lightning is because your body at that specific moment in time provides the path of least resistance to ground or to earth for the charge, for the current, for the lightning bolt. So if you're stood there, and there's something here, and you're there, and it's just flat ground around you, or whatever. It depends on your level of resistance. If you offer more resistance than this, then the lightning will hit that, because it's a path of least resistance, where the phrase comes from. If this offers more resistance, if this is an enormous block of rubber and you're stood next to it, it's going to go through you, because you offer the path of least resistance. If you're stood next to a tree, it will hit the tree, because the tree is taller and therefore has a lower resistance. But if the tree's full of water, that's a higher resistance and you're least resistant, so it will go through you. So having a cell phone in your hand will make probably no difference whatsoever in the grand scheme of things, because it's still got to take into account how resistant your body is. Yeah, so... And I say, actually, a tree full of water will be least resistant. Got water in it. So yeah, it will make a slight difference, but it will be so negligible compared to the resistivity of your entire body. If you were wearing rubber soles, for example, then you're offering a lot more resistance to lightning. So if you've got rubber soles on, but you're holding a cell phone, it still can't get past the rubber sole part, or have a tough time. So it probably wouldn't make a difference. At the end of the day, if you're in the middle of a lightning storm, you shouldn't be stood out in the open anyway, mobile phone or not. So, yeah, the answer is not in any way, shape or form that really makes any kind of difference to somebody stood out in the open in the middle of a lightning storm. Really. Now, of course, if the mobile phone is completely made out of copper and you're wearing an outfit that's completely made out of copper, or some other such incredibly conductive material, then you're a bit screwed, but you're also an idiot. So, yeah. Yeah, not in such a way that will make any real difference to the chance of getting hit by lightning. It would, but so insignificantly that it's neither here nor there. Little nubulations off. Bit of sandy. These should go away quite nicely. I assume these get hidden down the... I don't know how this fits, you see. Do I need to worry about these, or these disappear down... These disappear down the side, don't they? Let's just make sure it all fits first. This is where I suddenly find nothing fits, and I'm all like, no, I take it all back. Games Workshop are horrible, I hate them. This needs to go in there like that. There, like a glove. So I don't need to worry about sanding some of those nubs down, because they disappear down into that side there, and I don't care. That one I do. That one there I need to deal with. These ones around the edge I do. Yeah. Sweet as. Sweet as. Damn, this is looking good. Yeah, do feel free to ask lots of questions in chat, because it gives me stuff to talk about, especially science questions. I love science. Science is brilliant. I'll either know the answer and I'll tell you, or I won't know the answer and I'll probably make it up. But it'll sound good, and you can tell people that it's true. Yeah, so no, it wouldn't make a massive difference. Safest place to be, apart from indoors, if you're caught out in a lightning storm, is in a car. Or a vehicle of some sort. Because modern, well, all cars from the last sort of 40 years, technically, they're all Faraday cages, so if the lightning hits the car, it goes around the outside of the car and avoids you. In most cars, you're not touching anything metallic that's directly connected to the body of the car, so you're also above the ground and isolated from Earth, so safest place you can be, get in your car and stay in your car. It's the safest place to be. But then again, having said that, the chance of being struck by lightning are like, it's tiny. Not impossible, because it happens, but you're more likely to be hit by a meteorite. Meteorite when it hits the ground. Is that it? Meteor when it's in the air, meteorite when it hits the ground, I think. One of the two. Anyway. Yeah, you're more likely to be hit by a piece of space rock, which has happened, I think, once in the entire history of human society, of human records. Or been recorded once. Or twice, I think. Yes. I wouldn't worry about it. I hope I don't have to replace the rivets on this, because I haven't got rivets that come even close to the things on this big boy. What this tank calls rivets, we call kind of coffee cups. They're huge. They're ridiculously beautiful. What's rattling on my desk now? Hang on, I need to... What's rattling? Stop it. Right, there we go. What are we doing with rattles? Rattles. Maybe it's lightning bolt, but possibly some truth. Where are we? Only if they're upside down from the bathroom window on the 4th floor, says Mayhem. I don't... What? Are you having a show today, says Lynn to Dad. And Mayhem says Sally James. Not today, Lynn. Jumped, sorry. Oh, there we go. Pizza. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Mozzarella the next day in a burp form. Not feeling it. Not today, says Lynn. On with Colin tomorrow, though. I'm sorry, not today, Lynn, says Dad. Yeah, Dad's not doing a stream today. George says, I'm doing okay today. Glad I'm able to join. I am glad you are here, my friend. Yeah, in the middle, getting jolted might do it. I've lost track of that lightning conversation now. They come in sealed plastic here. Canned hot dogs are usually just Vienna sausages in my experience. We get all different types. We've just got these big cans, but they're really fat, thick hot dog sausage. I think they're Ye Old Oak, I think. It is nice, though. B3 says makes the usual expected comment about burger bun numbers. Ooh, somebody always says that in chat. You fulfilled that requirement. Just asking because we do has quite a good electrical storm going on. Yeah, it wouldn't increase your chances of being a human being stood 5 or 6 feet above the ground, connected to the ground, covered in water, which makes you the most conductive thing on the face of the universe to that lightning bolt. Yeah. It wouldn't make any difference. You're already stood outside in the threshing down rain. You're a massively conductive thing, unless you're wearing like big rubber wellies or something. But still, yeah, it wouldn't make any massive difference. It's like, can I go outside in this lightning storm with a mobile phone? Is it dangerous? No, it's just stupid. Why would you be outside in a thunderstorm when it's throwing down rain and lightning when you could just be indoors and dry and watching TV and happy and not wet? The science with the fox, yeah, says Vamp. That's how lightning rods work. Lightning rods are copper because it's massively conductive, and it offers the least amount of resistance compared to, like, you can see a church and it's got a lightning rod, or an office building, whatever. Compared to the building it's attached to, it's slightly taller, and it offers a massive lower amount of resistance than the building it's attached to. So instead of hitting the building and working its way through all the brickwork and plaster and blowing bricks out and damaging windows and blowing your electrics out, the lightning channels through the copper lightning rod down the side, and that lightning rod just goes into the ground and out and away. It just terminates a little distance away from the building, and it just channels the electricity, because the lightning rod is attached to the building but isolated in such a way that it's not physically touching it. There might be little rubber stoppers between the lightning rod attachment points and the building. The lightning just goes straight down the copper because it's the least resistance, doesn't damage you. But in theory, sometimes it can be so powerful it can do damage. But because if lightning hits, you know, like when lightning hits a house and it blows the roof up and takes the chimney out, it's because it's just it's a bajillion degrees of temperature and massive amounts of energy hitting a house. The reason that your chimney explodes is because the lightning hits your chimney, superheats the bricks and the mortar and anything else that's it made of, and all that water that's trapped in the mortar between the bricks, there'll be water trapped in the bricks. If there's woodwork, it'll be water in the wood. That water instantly is vaporized, massively superheated and vaporized, and expands explosively. And that's why if lightning hits a tree, the tree just goes boom and explodes, because it's all the water. It's not because the lightning's explosive, it's because all the water in the tree is massively superheated in like a trillionth of a second to thousands and thousands of degrees, converts to steam, and just explodes outwards. So there you go. Now you know. So basically, if lightning hit you, would explode. You wouldn't necessarily explode. You might not survive. You might not die. But lightning's an awesome thing. And there's no one in the world that isn't a little bit scared when there's a lightning storm. I mean, you know, I love thunder and lightning. When we get a storm, we very rarely get good thunder and lightning storms here in the northwest of England. They're usually fairly tame. But when we do get them, I like to have the patio door at the back of the house open and just watch. I stand in the patio door looking into the back garden, listening to the rain fall and the thunder, and watching all the plants doing this in the wind and the rain, and just smelling the especially if it's been dry, smelling the petrichor as that rainwater bounces off the soil and releases all the little organisms. And it's like, oh. But even I am like, I'll stand there, and I know how lightning works, but even I will stand there and I won't put we've got aluminium frame French windows. I'll kind of take my hand off the aluminium frame. It's stupid because the aluminium frame's built into the brickwork and isolated from the brick. It's still like, I probably shouldn't have my hand on the aluminium door frame because, you know, I might explode. I probably won't. Awesome force of nature. At least it is when you don't get them very often. I think if I lived like in like Lightning Alley, if it was like lightning and thunder all the time, I probably wouldn't be as impressed. I'd be more like, oh, for God's sake, shut up. Right, that's pretty good. I'm looking at that looking quite nice and neat. I'm doing multiple sanding passes on this because I don't want it to look all scratchy. In fact, what I might do, just to finish it off, is it's a straight edge, so I might just give it a quick zizz with the mould line removal tool. Somebody asked me the other day how to use one of these, and it literally is 45 degrees on the edge, flat, and drag it. That's it. You don't just have to use it for getting rid of nubs, you can use it to smooth surfaces off. And it looks kind of matte where I've sanded, so if I do this until it's not matte, I know it's perfectly flat. Still see a big chonking sticky out nub there. That's going to require some file work, I think, for speed there. So let's just get the file on that. Sometimes sanding it, even that doesn't get rid of a big chonking nub. Sometimes. And if you are sanding or filing, go in multiple directions against each other. That way you don't just get one line of stripes and scratches. You managed to avoid that. Put that back over there. As long as I can't feel it, will be gravy. Yeah, I love lightning. Thunder and lightning, thunderstorms, I love them. Only when I'm indoors and I don't have to go outdoors. If I need to go outdoors for some reason and it suddenly starts thundering and lightning, I'm like, oh, God's sake. Damn it. because then it's a pain in the bum, because I'm going to get wet, I'm going to get drenched. But if I can stay indoors nice and cosy, pull up to the light to tuck it, there's still a slightly visible nub there, and it's like, oh, you little swine. Sometimes there'll be a nub that does this. It's like no matter how much you sand it and scrape it, it just refuses to go away. It can be quite frustrating. Because you might not see it now, but the moment you put primer on that, yeah, you're going to see it. Just keep going over. I'm not putting any pressure with this sanding sponge because I don't want to bend the sanding sponge. I need it to be as flat as possible. I'm literally doing it at fingertip pressure. Smooth enough that the primer will cover up any little micro scratches. Looking pretty good. That's looking pretty spanky. Spanktaculon. Okay, what's chat doing? I get electric shocks in work all the time. High voltage but low current. You just get used to it. Yeah. That doesn't say much for the engineering of your electrical systems, though, does it really, where you work? Ray Ecclin says, yes, tonight we ordered from my McDonald's. Oh, McDonald's. See, I know McDonald's is trash. It's filth. But I like it occasionally because it's kind of just it's comfort food in a way. There's much nicer things than McDonald's, but at the same time, sometimes you just want a McDonald's. So Ray, tell me what you're having. What McDonald's are you having? Describe to me the filth that you will be eating. I want McDonald's now. Oh, god damn it, now I'm not... On my Fox, can we have McDonald's tonight and not the thing I was going to make? Was in the car which got hit with lightning. Car was knackered after that, says Sarah Jane. Oh yeah, it won't do any favours. But if it's a good, well-designed car, it should be a natural, not natural, but it should be a good Faraday cage, because you're sat in the middle, you've got all the stuff in the car, and then the outside of it is the metal body shell. The lightning will hit the body shell, go round it, and again take the path of least resistance. But the difficulty is, of course, you've got rubber tyres. Now they aren't necessarily conductive, so ideally, if the lightning does hit you, it's either for some weird reason that's the only option it's got, even though it's got to go through rubber tyres. Or it could be that the tyres are rubber but a bit's exposed with some of the wire inside it and it just happens to be touching the ground. Or it could be that something on the car is hanging down and touching the ground, or maybe very close to the ground, like a bit of metal or something. For some reason it just gives it that nice bit of extra zizz for the electricalness to hit down. But should be completely safe because you're isolated from everything outside by the shell of the car. But yeah, your car might be absolutely battered because your electrical system, which is designed for 12 volts, has just had like 20 bajillion volts put through it. Yeah, you might find your car don't work. I always remember watching, when I was a kid, there used to be a series in the UK back in the 80s called QED, which was like a sort of science and learning program. It was like a short half-hour program, like Horizon, but like half an hour. And one of them was about like lightning. And it showed the presenter or the guy talking. So it showed a guy in a car, a 1980s, I think it was like a Talbot Horizon or something, a Volkswagen Polo or something. And he sat in it, and they put him inside this thing that generates lightning strikes, like 10 bajillion volts, and it was like bang! And all that happens is the windscreen wipers went, and all the electrics came on and went off. And then it carried on. It survived it. But the guy inside was perfectly fine, so... Yeah, I must admit though, electricity confuses the hell out of me. I subscribe to the Electro Boom channel. The guy Mehdi that runs it. He started off as almost comedy stuff, but he's an electrical engineer, and he is quite funny. But when he goes into depth about how stuff works, I'm like, I don't understand any of all these words you've just told me. None of them make any sense whatsoever. I'm going to get a second tin. For safety purposes. Put those in there. There. See, not going to go anywhere now, are they? Fox, pork, Fox, pork or chicken dumplings? Oh, pork dumplings. Oh, the ones that look like little fluffy clouds. Little fluffy clouds. The one that looks like little clouds. Oh yeah, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called, but yeah, the little. If it's the big, they look like a giant popcorn that's popped. Big fluffy cloud thing. They go for them. Pork, much nicer. Chicken are nice, but pork's better. Although you asked that ages ago, so you probably all decided by now. B3 says, phone line generally works on 50 volts, but a broadband or data or anything like it is as much as 120 volts, and it's smart. I can imagine. Lee at Black... Hang on, coffee. Lee at Black Rifle Model Works is in. Welcome, Lee. Hello, my friend. King of the Space Puppies. Oh! Look, Lee. Oh! Feel the muscularity. Oh, trouser tent time. I know you'll appreciate that. Let me try and catch up with the chat very quickly. Quanaman says, if there's a lightning storm, I'm not too worried because I'm always have my rubber gimp suit close to hand. Yeah. How likely am I to be hit by a Blackstone Fortress, though, says Timothy. You'd have to consult the Magic 8 Ball for that one. I wouldn't trust today's electric cars in the storm, though. Yeah, probably not. I only ask because I'm being transferred to Cadia, says Timothy. In that case, you're in the guard now, son. You're just screwed. Don't expect to last long. If you're in the Imperial Guard, there's no point saying how likely is it, because it is. Well, canoeing in Canada with orcas, we had lightning hitting the water all around. Got great pictures. Think of all the things that died. Yeah, that would be cool. Also terrifying. Because you're in the middle of a body of water, there's lightning everywhere, and you can't get away from it. Oh, I'd be absolutely poopitating my pantalons. I just love being out in the rain. I was asking for safety, says Scale Model Vamp. Yeah, I must admit, last year when we had that real sort of long, or was it the year before we had that real long dry spell here in the UK? It was like, it wasn't quite a drought, but it was almost, for a couple of months, and it was like hot, dry all the time, and everybody was like, oh god. When it finally broke and we got a proper rainstorm, I just went and stood out in the back garden and I just stood there for like 10 minutes getting soaked wet through, and I was like, you know what, this is just the best. Because it had been literally 4 or 5 or 6 weeks with almost pretty much no rain, and everybody was just fed up of it. It's like, oh, come on. And it was fantastic. I literally walked back in the house drenched, but I was cooled down. It was nice, and B, the petrichor, the smell of petrichor when that rain hit was just the strongest I'd ever smelled it since being a kid in the 70s. Because that is one of the nicest smells. Petrichor. I bet you didn't even know it had a name. That smell when the raindrops hit either dry tarmac or dry soil, and it's been dry for, a few days or a few weeks. That smell, it actually has a name. It's petrichor. 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 I think it's to do with certain little organisms and bacteria that live in the soil when it gets wet and it's been dry. They're dormant when it's dry, and then when it gets wet again, they come back to life and release chemicals. And it's just the most fantastic smell. It's up there with the cut grass smell. I think it's better than cut grass. Because cut grass is nice, but petrichor is just like, oh yeah, that's a good smell. And I bet most of you didn't even know it was called that. It had a name or anything. But it does. I didn't even know it had a name till I mentioned it in an episode of Doctor Who once. I'm like, oh, is that what that was called? Petrichor. I assume it's some root from the word ichor, I-C-H-O-R. Some connection to that word. Thankfully, these only have a little nub underneath, and that's it. So they're quick to fix. I'll get these cleaned up, and then we'll have a quick look at chat, because I need to catch up with the chat. Yeah, Thunderstorms, man, they're the best. We just sadly don't get them. It's like we don't get a lot of snow here, and we don't get a lot of thunderstorms. We do get occasional, rumbly thunderstorms. Last year we had some great ones, and this summer we had some great ones. I think this year, or was it last year? This summer we actually had a thunderstorm where the rumble of thunder lasted for about an hour. It was constant. But obviously it wasn't one single rumble. It just sounded like one, but it was obviously lots of little ones all building up and mixing together. But very rarely we'll get like 99% of the time we'll get like a few rumbles and then it'll go away. Because we're in Cheshire, it's not like we're on the top of a mountain or down in a valley somewhere. We're not near the coast or anything, so yeah, we kind of get half-assed thunderstorms, and we kind of get half-assed snow as well. We tend to get like a dusting of snow, perhaps, and then it's gone the next day. Very occasionally, like back in 2009, I think, or 2010, we got that. I've talked about it before. That proper thick, like foot-deep snow that destroyed everything for like about 2 weeks and got me a day's pay docked because I couldn't get to work. But that's the last time we had proper deep fluffy snow here, and before that we're going back to the 70s then. So yeah, so all the cool weather, we don't really get much of it. Right, so quick look at chat. Let's catch up. Where are we? I moved here in July. I haven't seen rain in that entire time. Where are you again, Timothy? Remind me. We are on an iron plateau here. Iron ore all over the ground, and lightning literally runs across the ground. Wow. That's scary business. You need to be like a foot off the ground in that case. I've seen lightning go across once, and it freaked me the hell out. Literally, it kind of went across the sky. I'm like, that's not how you're supposed to work. How is going across the ground the fastest way to get to the ground? I don't... Weird. Oh yeah, last summer, I think I posted a video. This summer we had the sort of the sheet lightning storms where it was just the sky was just flashing. The whole sky was just glowing constantly. That was the like 2-hour-long rumble of thunder. It's amazing. Lightning makes good vibes. Morning all, I've arrived home, says Edward. Hey Edward, how you doing, my friend? We have rain to spare in Manchester. It's chucking it down as usual today. I don't think we're getting that right now. It was raining early. I'm only a couple of miles away, so yeah, I'm sure it's headed my way. Or it's my rain that you've got now. I don't like McDonald's, says Lynn. Yeah, I wouldn't say I like McDonald's. It's one of those things that you don't eat McDonald's because it's delicious and tasty. Because it's definitely not. You just kind of eat it because you have some kind of base desire. Just to ingest that crap, and afterwards, after half an hour later, you're hungry again. I think with McDonald's, it's not because you want to eat it because it's nice. You just have this thing, I need to eat McDonald's. Sometimes your brain is like, I need to eat some crap. But it is kind of good. There are bare terminals on some of the older kit, Fox. You soon learn not to touch them without gloves on. Yeah, I wouldn't like to. Having seen the inside of an exchange but never actually been in one, I would not like to go into an exchange. No. So Jane says it was a well-designed car. She says, haha, well-designed car. It was a Datsun 120Y. I used to get a lift to and from work in it. Blooming yucky thing. Oh, God, that's going back then, isn't it? Yeah. I think in that you'd probably be touching most metal things, so it wouldn't necessarily be the best Faraday cage. Lynn doesn't like Burger King. Now, I do like Burger King. I don't necessarily like McDonald's, but I'll eat them happily. But I do like... I would eat Burger King because I enjoy their food. I eat McDonald's because sometimes I just need to shovel crap into my face. Yeah. The vinyl roof was totally burnt off. Had smoke come out of the vents, and evidently mechanics said it got repolarized or something. Just glad to see the back of it. Yeah, I can't imagine they were designed for anything more than about 2 volts. Yeah. Most exchanges were built in the 1950s. Despite advances in tech, they haven't quite caught up yet. Our copper network is woefully inadequate and held together with spit, gaffer tape and idiots like me, says B3. Oh God, yeah, that's true. Yeah. It hasn't rained here in 7-8 months, says Lynn Dipple. Well, you're in New Mexico, so that's kind of the norm for you guys, though, isn't it? Carlsbad. Carlsbad, is that right? Right. Need to wipe my nose. Wipe my nose. Ba-dibba-doodle-doo-doo. Oh, because it got sniffles. Ooh. Right, where are we up to? Let's build some shizzle. I've caught up with the chat. I've got to tell you, for some reason, I don't know why. Like, when I'm doing them Elite streams, 6 hours goes on forever, obviously. When I'm doing a Skyrim stream, 3 hours goes on forever, and it's great. When I do this stream, I just get started, and before I know it, it's like 6 o'clock. It's like 20 to 5 already now. We'll obviously run a bit late today, because I've got to make up 5 or 10 minutes, because we were late for technical shenanigans. Right, so we need to attachivate, first of all, these little plates for the big fat boomy gun and the glasses plate. I assume that's the glasses plate, which goes, how exactly? It goes like, how does this go? That way from underneath. So that goes on there. Bring to me the, I don't need this, do I? Bring to me the glue that I may stick things to other things with the glue. Oh, with the falling. Damn you, Weeble. Quintilius Varus, where are my eagles? Brian Blessed is a god amongst men. If you've never watched I, Claudius, you must at some point. I don't care, I don't know how you're going to do it, but you must at some point, wherever you are in the world, you must at some point watch I, Claudius, all of it. Patrick Stewart with hair, for a start. Brian Blessed, doing the best death scene ever. Oh, it's just the best thing ever. Now this little devil here, this goes on here like this. We have 2 little notches. Now you have to pay note that it's got a little sort of blobulus down here. It's like circle with a little bemulus here. I made that word up, bemulus. Now that, I assume, goes... Oh, knocking the camera. It goes that way with the curvy bit there at the bottom. It's got a curvy bottom, like Felicity Kendall. Ooh, Felicity Kendall. Oh, I should have said that. I'm having thoughts. I'm Felicity Kendall bottom thoughts. That sits like... I've gone all 6s and 7s and thumbs. Oh, Felicity Kendall. Right, so, yes, curvy bit at the bottom. You have to make sure when you assemble this, you've got to have Felicity Kendall's curvy bottom at the bottom. Like that. There you go. Both Dad and Colin are now having happy thoughts about Felicity Kendall's bottom. I can sense it. Yeah. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. And what happens here is this is a little recess in which the cannon will sit. It's got like a ball on the end, so you can move it around. Then a plate goes over the top to lock it in. I don't really care if it's posable or not, because when it is all painted up, if you move this gun around, it's going to scrape all the paint off. So like a gumpler, so it'll just be glued into place. So I'm not particularly fussed. So that goes there like that. Carlsbad, years ago, I'm just watching Flash Gordon, where Brian is his shouty best. Gordon's live. Been to Dallas, as my cousin lives there, but never to New Mexico, says Sarah Jane. Never been to the US. My brother lives in Tennessee. Did live in Memphis. I don't think he lives in Memphis anymore. I know where he lives. I'm not going to say where he lives, but, you know. Hey. Right, now I need to... But he's not in Memphis anymore. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Are you going to make me do 9 when you said 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, you Games Workshop. You. Oh, no, actually. Wait. I take it back. I think. Hang on. What goes on that back bit there? Something must attach at some point. Apparently something doesn't. That's weird. Okay, that seems odd. That seems... You've got this here. You've got all these little recesses for these little widgets to go. Like that. Except for that one, where apparently nothing goes in that. One goes in there, but it doesn't say to put one in there. That's weird. Let me have a look at the box art. Box shows nothing there. That's strange. That's very bizarre. Literally nothing goes into... Oh no, it does show one there. It shows one there, look. So that does require 9 of them. Games Workshop, you be messing with me. Yeah, well, I shall leave it off for now. We shall get to the end, and when it gets to the end, we'll see if we've got... Because we have got a spare one. When it gets to the end, we'll make sure that nothing else needs to go in there, and then we'll put something in there. We'll put the 9th one in. That's very strange. Very, very strange. Do you know how to make a man's knees go weak, Fox? Felicity Kendall says... Oh, yeah. Felicity Kendall. Oh. You just can't... You can't get beyond that, can you? Lynn says, I'm a text. I'm just misplaced in New Mexico temporarily. Are you putting along a boomstick on the swivel cannon, Fox? Says B3. I might do. I don't know yet. I don't want to... I've deliberately made myself forget what the hell Chris did to his, Chris at Grace Model, because he did loads of stuff like that and he added to the gun. I've deliberately made sure I haven't watched that since he originally did it because I can't remember what he did to it, and I don't want to know what Chris did because I don't want to end up doing exactly the same thing, which would be kind of crap. Having said that, I might end up doing the same thing because there might only be a few things you can do. So I don't know. Anybody not in the UK, by the way, and who wasn't around in the 1970s, just feel free to do a Google search for Felicity Kendall's bottom. Yes. Not while you're at work, of course. Right, so these need to go into... I'm on the wrong page now, aren't I? These need to go into all these little receptacles here. Let's apply these. I think technically Felicity Kendall's bottom is actually a British national treasure. I think it actually merits just to be classed as a national treasure. I think technically. Get these lined up nice and straight as best I can. Only the Imperium of Man could have little viewports on a tank that look like little church things, because of course they do. No, with the falling and the dropping. No, with the... Just stay there. A little touch of glue around the edge. And a little touch of glue around the edge. Gently slide it into matron. Ooh, matron. Right. You've got any of the little fuzzies from where you've sanded it, don't panic, the glue will sort that out as it goes on. Let the glue sort your fuzzies. Again, put down, slide it in, slap it on. Do nicely. Yes, I shall leave that back one off, as the instructions tell me to do. But what we'll do, when we get to the end, if you remind me, because I will forget, I'll get this painted and be like, oh yeah, I never did that thing at the back, did I? We'll get that on. And if nothing else has gone in there, I mean, it might be that perhaps I can stick an aerial antenna or something over it. That'd be fun. I like aerials. Antennae. That needs to stay in place like a little, good little window. Hope I'm on camera. Am I on camera? Yeah, just about. But if not, I'll just get the other one off the sprue and plonk it on. I just want to make sure that it's not the case that that little one goes somewhere else. There's like one other one that goes somewhere else on the tank that I've not noticed, because that's also a possibility. There's one other little place where you need a viewing put, like on the upper turret or something. Bit of plastic stuff in that. That's a bit of an arse. Out! Plastic schmutz. Oh well, it'll get. Oh, hello. Hello. Hi, I'm Abe. It was made from the darkened molds. Played that game in a long time. Ah, I remember Sligs. Most of you probably got no idea what I'm talking about. I used to love Sligs. Sligs, get them. I'm just muttering to myself, ignore any of the words that are coming out of my face. I'm just talking old man remembrances. Do 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 do. Quiet, relaxing time now when I'm attaching things to other things. I think the reason I like Games Workshop kits so much is because, like I've said before, a painter, not builder, but that notwithstanding, when I do have to do building, I really, really appreciate easy and simple builds where things just go together. They do a Bethesda and it just works, although Bethesda doesn't just work, but they do a Todd Howard, it just works. I appreciate that muchly, and that's when I do it. That's when I can enjoy the building. For some reason, the Warhammer model kits that give me the most pleasure are Cadians, just bog standard Cadian troopers. I don't know why. I just love making them and cleaning them up and putting them together. I don't know why. I have no idea what they just go together so nicely. Just Cadians. And I would say Tempesta Scions, but they have the funky arms and they're a pain in the bum. Be a Cadian. I love Cadians. Just making Cadians. I could just sit there and make them all day. Make sure those are all lined up straight. That needs a bit of a smush with the glue because it's got some fuzzies. We'll put some rust around these anyway, so it's not the end of the world. All those little viewing ports are in. They're all looking fairly straight. Good. We'll leave that one for now. You never know. You never know. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It really does not say. Put it on there. It doesn't show it there either. They've just not done it. And then that gets plonkated onto here like this, you see. Now what I might do, I might leave this not glued for the time being, purely because it seems to fit quite nicely anyway. I can just splonk it down like that. It's not coming off anytime soon. That's never going to come off. But it also means for painting, if I wanted to, I can take that off. I can mount that way on something to paint it. I can have this on something to paint it if I wanted to. So I'm not going to do it just yet because I might have a twiddle with it and I might have some plans. I don't know yet. Did I even get that in the wrong way? I don't even. Does that go underneath or on top of? It goes on top of. There, I've got that wrong. There we go. Sits in there like that. You see that, and that just goes together so nicely. That's almost Bandai level push fit happiness. Apart from it's not really unremovable. It's still removable quite easily. Beautiful. Now there is a bit of a thing here. I will say, bit of a lip there. You can probably see. I don't know if you can. It's kind of a lip going around the edge, but that kind of just looks like armoured plating that's got step levels on it or something. Almost like the back wall isn't quite tall enough, but it is because it's lined up there. So that's probably just meant to be. You can get away with that as a step in the armour between two armour plates. Like, for example, you've got a step there between the armour plates. You can kind of get away with that, I think. It's satisfyingly ignorable enough. Now, though, look. Oh, starting to look like a Baneblade. Right. So look at chat. Finding Felicity Kendall was cute. She only got the part as I didn't want it, says Sarah Jane. Well, there you go. There's a lot of comments I could have made there. I'm not going to. A lot of manufacturers could learn a lot from Games Workshop. Absolutely. Revell, Italeri, many others. Graham says hello to Sarah Jane. Sarah Jane says hello to Graham. Right, that's that bit. I shall mark off on the instructions of happiness that we have completed these steps by doing this. You have to make the noise. If you don't make the noise, you're not doing it right. So now it's time to do turrety goodness. So I'll just put this beautiful thing over there. Big in it. It's a big boy. Yeah, we've got a little bit of, when we glue it down, it will actually got a little bit of push to it. It's not absolutely snug. There is a little bit of push to it there. But I'm not going to glue it yet, like I say, because I don't know. It might be that I want to take it out to put things on it. So we'll leave it there for the moment. So we choose the variant one. Do we want the Baneblade with the big long tube, or do we want the Hellhammer? Yeah, I want the Baneblade. Duh. I want the big gun, not the little stumpy gun. Stumpy gun. But do I want to do anything to the cannon, or do I want to leave it as it? I think I might just build this straight. I'm not going to get too custom nonsense with it, I think. Just because I probably will make it my Deathcore Baneblade. And I probably only have one in my Deathcore troops, because yeah, I won't end up with a lot of Deathcore army. I think I've got about 30 dudes now, 30 or 40 dudes. So that plus this and a couple of other bits and bobs would be a nice Deathcore force. So we'll go for the big gun, but I don't think I'm going to add lots of things to it and customize it, because when you play it on the table, you just have to play it as this. You can't play. I can't stick like. I can't just blop on it the gun from the shadow from the storm sword on a Baneblade and then say I'm doing it as a, because you can't really quite do that. So I'll just play it straight as a thing. Anyway, big gun, says Lynn. Graham M says we're in a kind of lockdown. Businesses are open and we can travel again, but there's an 8 PM till 6 AM curfew in force. Right. Let's do the big gun. Let's do the big gun. We've got an hour and a bit. I think we can get the basic turret done. However, I do need to check. I have the resin Deathcore Creek tank crew for this. I need to make sure they can be added to the turret later, rather than they don't have to get added to the turret whilst I'm building the turret. Like I can put them on the top of the turret cupola. I don't have to slide them in from underneath, in which case I can't glue it together. Yes. So we can get them. I think they should just plonk on top. I haven't even opened these yet. I hate opening these blister packs because I've got a delicate like a stubber in there, and if I snap it, I'll be really unhappy. I'm going to open this now. Carefully, I think, is where I'm going to open it. Move them out of the way. Don't like doing these bubble packs. The big problem being, of course, you can't reseal them, and then if no, it's just gone now. Oh well. There's my little scissors. Get my little scissors out. I have to find some other little receptacle to put them in. Where'er thee be, let the resin fly free. Yes, this is not a toy, it says. Well, the thing is, right, here's the problem. It says this is not a toy, but you play with it on a tabletop, in a tabletop game. So technically, it kind of is a toy, I would have thought. Really, if you think logically about it. Technically, it is a toy. So, ha 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 ha. Chew on that. Right, now as it's Forge World, of course, there are absolutely no instructions at all. So that's no use at all. That can go in the bin. There's nothing else in there. No, just checking. nothing. So we have the cupola here, which I think should just quite simply slot on top of the turret. And we have a Death Corps commander and a Death Corps sort of dude sticking up like a navigator or a gunner or something. Death Corps Krieg, yes! Yes, Death Corps Krieg! So I've got to paint my Death Corps dudes at some point. So I'll get the bits out. I'll put them there for a second. I'm wary of this, you see. I'm very, very wary of that getting snapped or broken. Let me get my big nippers. Big nippers! This is where your Games Workshop cutters, your fine detail cutters that are neither fine nor useful and detailed, come in handy for cutting resin. Be wary of doing this. I have to cut that with a saw, but I don't want to do that now because I don't want to have to get my respirator on. We'll just have to be careful. I was hoping I could just snip it and put that somewhere safe, but I'll have to saw that. And I don't want to be doing that without my respirator on, because that would be stupid. That'd be right stupid, that would. I'll put it there for the moment. Careful with it. So let's get the upper cover first, which is this one, just so I can quickly check. With this piece here. Let me remove some of the sprue. Now you can actually get various, there are variants of the Baneblade. You obviously get 8 variants in this kit. But there are other versions of the Baneblade you can make, and you can get stuff from Forge World, resin stuff from Forge, specifically to make those variants. You tend to get like the plastic bits from the kit. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's fine. That just sticks straight on there. That's not a prob. And then for the other guy, I guess, is built into the little turret. Does it show how to make that at some point anywhere? Yeah, the guy's like the gunner. He mans the stubber. So when you get to this turrety bit here, like the cupolas, this is where you start swapping them out for the Forge World versions. So it looks like for the gunner, or for the other guy who doesn't have to be, he's in the gunner, he's in that one there. You're still going to use the Baneblade parts for the hatch, because all you've got is the dude himself. I think, which is he's the commander. I like that way he's got pouches and straps on his helmet. He's the commander, and he's the gunner. You can have him either gunning or holding binoculars. Cool. Depending on what you want to make. God, they look so good. I really can't wait to paint my Death Corps. I don't want to make Death Corps ever again, but yeah. Although I did get that very kind injection of a load of Death Corps, so that was kind of cool. Right, so I know I can do that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... I'm going to take a big risk. Now, you should not do this. Do not ever do this without using... Tell you what, give me 1 second. I'm going to get a bit of tissue. One moment. Don't go anywhere. Go nowhere. Go nowhere at all. Right. When you do resin, if you do resin, you do not do this. You wear a respirator when you do resin, because resin is A, carcinogenic, and B, it forms little tiny sharp pointy spicules, a bit like volcanic glass. If it gets in your lungs, you can't dissolve it away, it's there permanently. So I've only got a little bit to cut, so I'm going to do it on a damp towel, as if I'm wet sanding. It's going to collect all the dust. I'm going to hold my breath because I've only got to do it very briefly. If you were doing lots of resin work though, you have to wear a respirator. So let's just hold my breath. There we go. Oh, can't hold my breath that much. Get the dust off on the tissue. I can throw that into the bin. That's all I wanted to do, was just get that little one piece off. So yeah, if you are working with resin, for the love of baby Jeebus, don't ever do it without a respirator. And if you can, do it with a piece of damp cloth, something underneath as well, just to catch the dust. Anything that stops the dust going up. And the same if you're not sawing, but you're sanding. If you're sanding, especially if you're sanding, when you sand resin, wet sand if you can, or do it over, again, damp paper and wear a respirator. I was only cutting that, and I need to be I'm on camera, so that'll be fine. But even then, I held my breath. So yeah, this is why resin kits are not intended for children. If you've got a young modeler in your family, don't get them on resin. Because trust me, if you inhale that stuff in a significant amount, you're going to really seriously damage your lungs. It's, apart from the physical form of it, it's also massively carcinogenic. Inhaled. Anyway, right, where are we up to? The reason I did that was so I can do this. Hoping he'll fit in there. Yeah. Like a glove! He can go there. That can go there. I'm just really wary of that. I've managed to somehow look out, and it's only ever slightly warped. I can easily straighten that. So I've managed to somehow look out with a straight stubber, which I can still guess is going to be a nightmare to attach anyway. They can go in there like that. They are now safe. I will put a little note on there. Put a little note on me. Oops. I've got an itchy nose. Oh, it's a bad time to have an itchy nose when I'm trying to do things. I will get my little pen. Here's my little pen. I know a little German. He's just over there. Pen. Where's my Sharpie gone? I put things down and then there it is. Dudes. Go back in the box. I've got to be very careful with that. Don't want that stubber rattling around in the tin too much. So that can go there. Quick look at chat. I'm loving these pin smiles I'm having. Very Moorish. Those Tamiya decal scissors are excellent for many tasks. They're great for photo etch as well. If you've got decal scissors, you don't actually need to buy photo etch scissors. I do wish some people would stop believing they're invincible, says Graham M. Exactly. We were talking about various things in the world. I'm not going to discuss them really too much because, you know, hey, got to be careful when you're doing a live stream about discussing such matters. I don't want to give out misinformation and get my ass kicked, so right, I don't want to risk giving out misinformation. Where are we up to? So I've got to get these bits. So we need these various parts here. Hoping they'll all be on the same sprue. We shall find out. So we need this piece here. Snicked. 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 That bit there. We need the front plate, which is right next to it. My God. Two pieces on the sprue right next to each other. Cats and dogs living together. Surely that's not even possible. We need the base of the turret. Kind of telling that the turret on this is a small turret, and yet it's bigger than most turrets on most tank kits. We need the side plates, which are these two. Fairly confident. Oh, sniffles. Stop sniffling, Fox. Because the lights go on. I think I explained it once, but I've forgotten what I said the explanation was. So, yeah. This needs to go. That's the back plate, is it? Is that the back plate for the... See on here, this is the thing with this. It shows that as the back plate of the turret. But that's the only view of it you get. So is it this piece? Is that what I'm looking at? And I think I am, but it's just like, literally, that's all you see. You don't see that. Come on, guys. Could have numbered these parts. I've got an itch in my nose and it's doing me head in. We also need the big tube. Tube. Tubulations. Tubing time. Get ready for tubing. Time to tube. Two sides of that. For the Baneblade cannon. Right, I got an itch inside my nostril. It's driving me crazy. Why must my nose give me hassle when I'm trying to do cool buildings? Right. Why not put a piece of blue tape around that stubber? Go back. Well, I don't want to put blue tape on it necessarily because I don't want to pull the tape and bend the barrel and snap it. Resin does snap, but how about a bit of tissue? Because at least then the tissue can sort of, maybe, I don't know. I'm making this up now. At least if the stubber does get damaged or broken and I can't repair it, there's the plastic one that comes with the kit. Now, obviously, this one is designed to, if you want the guy sitting in the turret, then that stubber is designed to go to, you know, be matched with the grips and the arms of that figure. So the end of it. Where's the end of it? Yeah, I can't see where the end of the barrel is to then fold it over. Hang on. I know I'm doing this a little bit off camera. I do apologise. Right, that's there. Let's put that there. We'll move that down there. You can do the roly, 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 roly. Like that. And it's already gone wrong. Let me just move this out of the way. God, Fox, you're so incompetent. Completely incompetent spoon, aren't you? Absolute idiot. Right, let's try this again, shall we? Fold that there. All the way up. There you go. Right, fold that there and then roll that there. And then it all unrolls on the... Yeah, you little gimpatron. Thank you. Stay there. Stay there. Make life easier. There we go. There it is. Nice and shiny. There we are. Straight in the tin. Odds on. Favourite to win. There you go. Kaplink. Kapla. Kapla. There we go. There we go. Thank you, Lynn. So that will just give it a little bit of protection now while it's rattling around in that tub. So, good call, Lynn. I didn't put tape on it, but it gave me the idea to wrap something around it. Yes. Tissue, it'd be fine without the tape, I think. Well, you know the saying, there's now as stupid as folk. Hey, Panzerkönig, welcome. These Barney blades are built to look dirty. I think Fox should build this as a nice new shiny one. Banned. No, because then you want me to make sports cars, and that's not going to happen. You can just stop with that now. You can't suddenly farm out all your sports cars and motorbikes to me. It's not going to happen. Yeah. I don't do clean things. I'm like the Vatican, I only deal in filth. Yeah, moving on. No ping. I'm hoping that this turret goes together as simply and nicely and effectively and effortlessly as everything else has so far, because then I can get it done quickly. Lucy. Oops. Nope. Camera. Where's me? Move my chair around a bit. This bit of that. How's picture, guys, by the way? Picture and sound. Is the picture looking okay? After this little boondoggle this earlier on when we started. I assume my bandwidth is still fine and everything's looking okay. That doesn't really matter because it's a connection joint, but I'll clean it up anyway. Oops. I think this is all going to be internal. I think. How does it? You might still see a little bit of it. We'll do a test fit. I might not need to get rid of that mould line. I might be able to leave it, but we should do a test fit first and check. Who's doing a stream tonight? Is it you, Chris, or is it Ted? I think it's Ted, isn't it, doing his stream tonight? I think it's more Ted Blade tonight. You get more Baneblade. I think it's Ted's turn. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. I can't remember. I think it's Ted doing a stream tonight. Over on Skipper Ted's channel, Skipper Scale Models. I think it's Ted's turn. So do make sure to watch Ted's stream later on, where he'll be carrying on with his Baneblade. He's at the painting and weathering stage now. No, ping. That nearly got me in the eye, but not quite. Hello, Mama Fox. Ah, she didn't hear me. She's got headphones on. Ah, well. Okay, so we just need to clean these up a bit more. I'm not going to sort out these. Not going to sort this nub out just yet. You know the rules. When you get a tube, when you have tube times, then you need to glue it together first and then clean off any mould lines, any seams and any nubs to keep the roundiness. But I can glue it together. I need to make sure the acrylic are the right way up, so that's that way. That is the right way up. Cool. You've also got the key notch there. I will glue this together now, though, just to get it done and out of the way. Just put that there. Because we're going to do the usual typical thing of get the glue down the middle and then squidge it out. I'm not getting rid, like I said, not getting rid of the nubs, because I can do that when I do all the sanding and filing later. I don't want to risk putting either a flat surface or a step into the gap or into the bit between the two sides. I want to be able to keep it cylindrical. So we're going to do this in such a way that we get the bead of glue. You've seen me do it a million times before. We try and get a bead of glue. Squish, squish, squish. Squish, 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 squishing all the plastic out. Remember, the plastic, the Tamiya Extra Thin melts the plastic. In that gap, you have this goop of liquid plastic and glue. You squeeze it together after 5 or 10 seconds. Out splurbs the plasticky glue, or the gluey plastic. And when it dries, the glue evaporates away, leaves a bead of polystyrene, and that's what you then sand away. And of course, when it's squishing out of the gap, it's filling the gap as it goes. So for tiny gaps, this is the absolute easiest way to do gap filling. No need for putties and fillers and all that nonsense. That's just silliness. It's also a great way to create weld lines sometimes, if you want to try and do that. That one's not really squeezing out so much. There we go. Excellent. So we'd get rid of them big massive nubs later. because we can trim them back and start sanding it, and we can try and maintain that circularity. Look at the circularity. That can sit and do its thing. I'll put that. I'll put it on something. No, I'll just have to. I'll just have to make sure it doesn't fall over. Oh, I'll put it over there on a touch of blue tack, just so it stays not falling over. I don't want to squash the little ball of line of glue. I can't get my words out. Coffee. That'll help me. Coffee. A meal in a can. Quick look at chat. Why not? Oh, we've done that one. That's bordering on heresy, says Black Rifle. Yes. Clean Baneblade. I think we'll be having words with the Inquisition in the near future. I think I'll be sending the Grey Knights round to have a conversation. Nubulation's cleaned up. Right, what can we talk about? I've run out of things to talk about now. So ask me questions in chat, folks. Ask me questions about anything. Anything. No religion, no politics, but anything. It doesn't have to be model making. Talk about science things in chat. Science is great. Science is awesome. It's always an interesting subject. Talk about science things. Astronomers have recently discovered a radio signal coming from Proxima Centauri. It seems to have stopped now, and it was a temporary one. They haven't officially done a paper on it yet, so it's not an official release. It's been leaked. Parkes Observatory came across a signal that, as far as they can tell, is originated in the Proxima Centauri B system. Now, the star in there itself is quite active, so it could just be some sort of outburst from the star, but it's got a very specific frequency, radio frequency, which, as far as we're aware, isn't anything that we use here on Earth that we know of. There could be something secret we don't know about, military-wise, that, you know, could be the source of it. But they've not officially released the information yet. Now, they have to be careful, because it's also equally likely that the signal could have come from, say, a satellite or something in orbit, man-made, but again, it's using an unknown frequency, so it's going to be something we don't know about. But Parkes Observatory is also the place that detected some very strange radio signals that they didn't know where they were coming from at first, and it turned out they were actually somebody nearby to the observatory opening a microwave before it had fully finished its cycle. Like a few seconds before the pinger went, and it did a burst of radio, because burst of microwave radiation that the dish, which is so sensitive, radio telescope picked up, and they quickly eliminated it and realised where it was coming from, and that's a microwave. But you know, that's how sensitive these radio telescopes are, so they have to make sure of their facts, where it's coming from. Could be Earth. It could be Earth originated. Could be, you know, could be somebody's key fob for the car or something else, but it might not be. Interesting. It's only been leaked a couple of days ago, so it's early news yet. There's nothing confirmed, but it's certainly interesting. Especially if they can rule out anything earthbound or anything in orbit, any of our own satellites. Of course, the difficulty is if it's just because there's no public or commercial thing that uses that radio frequency. There might be something that we don't know about that's not official, but you're not going to find out, are they? Not like, you know, some countries' government's going to say, oh no, that's our secret spy satellite you don't know anything about. It's just out, don't worry about it. Yeah, it's not going to happen, is it? That's not going to happen. Let's have a look at chat in a second. Yes, that's interesting. Might be nothing. Probably will be nothing. Okay. That's what science is all about. Discover something, reproduce it, test it, try and figure out what it's all about. That's the point of science. We should update chat, make sure it's not stuck. Yes, my chat had stuck. Fox, you were talking earlier about the smell of rain after a dry spell. What's your #1 smell? I assume you don't mean me personally, like what is the #1 smell that I create? My #1 smell is, you can't deny it, it's got to be baking bread. Got to be baking bread. Although sometimes we do a slow cook in this house and it comes close. It's the smell of baking bread, which never smells much when you're right there next to it. But if, like, especially in this house, Mum used to make, Mum and Fox used to make bread years ago, and she used to bake bread, and it never smelled like anything in the kitchen. But when you go upstairs, you got the scent of it. Baking bread, yeah, that'd be my favourite smell of all. Scale Model Vamp says it's aliens. Totally Scale Model is in. Hey buddy, hi Carl, how you doing, mate? I seem to have missed a lot of comments. Raging Modeler, did you open the parcel? No. That's a point. That's a point. I was going to open my parcel, wasn't I? I'm not sure what I've done with it. I think it's still in quarantine. Give me 1 second, folks. Don't go anywhere. I shall be right back. Did I bring it upstairs? I do with it. Oh man. Hang on. Good remembrance, dude. I'd forgotten all about that. Well, I hadn't forgotten about it, but I'd forgotten I was going to open it today. Let me see if I can get the label off. There we go. Yes. Forgot all about that. Yes, Adam sent me a parcel. I don't know what it is. He said I can open it, so I'm going to open it. I hope it's not anything embarrassing. It is this one, isn't it? Just to... Oh, hello, matron. Hello. Before we do that, I'll just double check, give him a chance to answer in chat. Fox, you were talking about this. Well, I've done that one. Microwave, you mean microwave? Yes. Yes, I have my parcel from the Raging Modeler. Speedy Q8's in as well, as late as always. Bacon bread, any kind of food. Good smells. Totally Scale Model says Carl. Yeah, why did I call you Carl? Sorry, Steve. I don't know why I called you Carl. I've done like 12-hour streams over the last 2 days. I'm knackered. I'm calling everybody the wrong name. I think it's that one. Yes. Okay. Let's get this open and see what it is. Let's try and get it open and see what it is. I've no idea what this is. So there's a note. Brother Fox. A note from Adam. I now know your middle name. A note from Adam. It says, Brother Fox, for your service to the Emperor of Man. Merry Christmas, dude, from Adam, the Raging Modeler. Let's have a look. It is... Oh, dude! Dude, it's a... Oh, awesome. It's a purity scroll. A purity seal, even. Keychain. Oh, yeah. Oh, that is mint. For my service to the Emperor. I need to get this off now. Hang on. Oh, that is awesome. Hang on. Hang on. Oh, that is kick-ass. What does it actually say? Oh, it's leather. Oh, it smells good. Oh, it smells like... It smells like Halfords. That. It says, while vile mutants still draw breath, there can be no peace. While obscene heretics' hearts shall beat, there can be no respite. While faithless traitors still live, there can be no forgiveness. There can be no forgiveness. In the grim darkness of the far future, there is only war. I'm going to put that on my keychain. And that could go along with my other key thing. The only thing I've got on my keychain are, without showing all my keys, I've got that, which I've had for like 20 years. Somehow it's survived on my keychain all these years. And I've got this, which, given current circumstances, this is actually a thing to open doors remotely because it's on a string. If you don't want to touch a door because of disease, like a door handle, you lock that round it and pull it, and it opens doors for you. I don't know what this is for, and I don't know why it's like that. But it doesn't work as a bottle opener, I've tried it. That can go onto my keychain. I shall apply it to my keyring. 1 second. Attaching now, sir. Oh, excellent. Dude, that is awesome. Yes, there you go. Again, covering up my keys. Oh, look at that. Dude, thank you very much. That can go with my little Foxy and my thing that isn't actually a bottle opener, which weighs more than most other things on key rings. It's quite cool, that, though. Well, my Fox got me that. Yeah, it's good for opening doors. And then I haven't left the house since we got it, so brilliant. Adam, thank you very much. That's awesome. Now I can be a secret Warhammer fan that people can spot. It's a good way for other Warhammer fans to spot me. Do that. Awesome. Thank you very much. It's very, very nice of you. Thank you. I like stuff. I like stuff. What was the chat doing? There's a Kellogg's factory this side of Manchester which smells pretty darn good. Oh yeah, the Kellogg's factory. Oh yeah. Yeah, I forgot about that. My number one is the stale smell of the Underground Railway from my youth, so thick you wish you could cut it with a knife. Ooh. Leather always smells good when it's new. Yep. I had no idea purity seals could be purchased. I have a friend who will definitely be getting one soon, says Candygram. Yes. Best cooking smell, the smell from cooking the dried herbs and spices in a dry pan, ready to cook homemade curry. Ooh. B3, my favourite smell is from back home in Wales, just the smell of the outdoors after a storm. That's petrichor. That's the smell, I bet. Plus, obviously, also the smell of Wales. Glad you like it, buddy. Dead happy. Glad you hadn't done it yet. Yeah, I'd actually totally forgotten because I got a stash of stuff downstairs. I've got some parcels that I can't open because they're Christmas presents that my brother's got me. One of them from Games Workshop. He's obviously, I don't know what it is, but I can guess what it is. And I've forgotten all that. I've forgotten I was going to open it today. It's the smell is like fresh air in the mountains, says Lynn. Oh, yeah. You're very welcome, sir, says Adam. Thank you very much, my friend. And Steve, sorry I called you. I don't know why I called you Carl. I don't know why. I don't know why. I'm not really awake today. Right, let's do some assemblage. We have half an hour. I started off on the back foot today. I've got to tell you, though, after doing those two streams yesterday were massive, great fun, but it was hard work and very tiring. I'm very tired now. Right, so are we going to see this? This is the question. Are we going to see these bits? That goes on there like that. That will sit on top there. There's another bit on the side here. Bit on the side. Hey! That will sit there, in there like that. But will it be visible? Do I need to clean off? That stays on anyway. Do I need to clean the mould line off? Let's find out. That's a really nice tight grip, so I don't even need to glue that. That's kind of awesomeness. That goes on there. Like that, to see. I put the top on. I'd rather not have to clean it up, but I could have just, by the time I've done all this, I could have just cleaned it up, couldn't I? So that sits there, and that moves, oh, not much. I'm probably going to glue it anyway. Oh, you know what? We'll just clean it up. Let's just clean the damn thing. Instead of far-tossing about, Fox, let's just clean it very quickly. Unfortunately, I don't have a sense of smell, says Sarah Jane. Oh, no. New book smell is the best smell. Oh, yeah, that is a good smell, actually. My dad didn't have a sense of smell. I think he had TB or something when he was younger. In the 30s and forward, in the late 30s. Or something like that. I don't know why he didn't have a sense of smell. It's been so much faster that I've done that than if I was just messing about trying to see if you could see this. That I could have just done this at the start and it would have been a lot easier, wouldn't it? There we go. See how much easier that was? Something's rattling on my desk again. Right. Who's rattling? Oh, it's one of those annoying rattles that you can't quite place it. It's coming from over there somewhere, but I can't quite place it. Oh, it's going to be something in a drawer. Oh, it is. Hang on. Oh, hello. Ah, yes. Yes. Haha. Yes. There we go. Fixed. There were 2 pots. There were 2 bottles of Vallejo paint in that drawer on their side, and they were rattling like that. I like that. Little detective audio, detective mystery thing. Right, so that's that. That'll do absolutely fine. We can stop fussing with that now. So that sits there like that. So the coaxial gun will be there. I need to glue this onto here like this. Just so I don't need this anymore. That can go there. Put that there. Just double check. Yeah, big cannon coaxial, big cannon coax. There we go. Yeah, so that just sits on there like that. Plunculations have occurred. Done and done. Happy times. Yeah. Oh, hello, dropping now, sir. I'm quite hyper today. I think it's because I'm really tired. I tend to get that way when I'm really tired. I need to, oh dear, look at that. I need to do a bit more sanding on there, to be honest. Come back. Where have you gone? There you gone. A bit of extra cleanup required. Just spotted. Yeah, tinker. Little tinker. There we go. I'm really hungry now. I'm really quite starvity hungry. That's that bit. Nail salon next project, Fox. Scale model making guru nail salon. Said Squid Lips 6661. What? Scale model nail salon. Oh, I see. Yeah. Fox froze. Oh, did I? Oh well. We've only got 20 minutes to go. I assume I'm back now. Hello from Montreal, Fox. Oh, hang on. You didn't get the titles earlier on, so there you go. In fact, there you go. Just a quick. I wasn't going anywhere. I forgot it says thanks for watching. And you suddenly panic. I'm all going. I'm not going. I'll just put my flag back. I pressed the button and thought, oh no, wait, what if you'll think I'm finishing the stream? No! Oh, I've got you back now, says Lynn. Okay, maybe it was you at your end, I don't know. Anyway, let's crack on. Always open for a bit of Oh Canada. I don't know why I love Canada so much. I've never been there. I don't actually know any Canadians in real life, like apart from on the internet. I just kind of get the impression it's a cool place to be. I don't know. No, brain. That way. There we go. Oh, ping! Oh. I'm quite in a zippy mood right now. I'm in a kind of hyper mood. It's quite amusing, I suppose. Yeah, that needs to go on there. It needs cleaning up. A little bit of fluffety stuff. Like that too, see? Very nice. So I can put a little bit of the old extra thins on there to start with. Now, I think these should actually just stay in place all by themselves because it's a pretty nifty fit. But just to make sure I've got some wiggle room, wiggle. You should always have room to wiggle. Wiggle room's always good. I shall try and work fast so I can move things around. Now, I'm going to get some glue splooging out, but I can clean that up later. Okay, not being quite so cooperative as I thought, but it's all right. It's okay. Right, so this one there. Then we have the back panel. Goes like that. Rather lovelily, rather beautifully. Fits rather nicely, actually, if I'm completely honest. Can go on there. Like a dream. Look at that. No problem. Like a glove. If any glue does splooge out, it just kind of has that sort of welded seam look to it, which is kind of nice. I can put... No, it says not to glue this. So I shall not to glue this. I should have really put it on before I pushed everything together, but never mind. Because it's quite a tight fit. Okay, that's that there. Goes on to side. Like that. Lovely. Oh, I said that's very nice. Very nice. Can now be glued. Roger. Gluing now. I'm working a bit fast because I want to make sure everything goes in, but I've still got some little bits of wiggle room to adjust without making a mess. Sometimes with the extra thin, if you glue two things together, you can still wiggle stuff around for a while, but if you leave it too long, when you move something, you get this big smush of glue going everywhere and it just makes a mess. It's horrible. So hopefully I can avoid that. Now, it's not exactly the cleanest of edges there where the two corners are, where the two side pieces meet the bottom of the turret, but it doesn't really matter. You're not actually going to see that. I'm going to sand it down a bit later on anyway, because I've got this bead of glue going under here, which I need to clean up. And there's a couple of fingerprints. Okay, it's not 100% the best fit in the world, but it's not egregious either, so not anything I can't live with. Need to put the top on. Put your top on! Okay. And this just goes on the top, I think. Yes, like this, see? So quite simply, a couple of touches here and there. Get that on. That pushes all the bits out a little sideways and makes everything fit properly. And run the glue around the gap. Get it all sealed in, whilst trying to not get any glue around where the actual cannon is. Bit of squishage. And we have a big fat fingerprint on that bit, thank you. After doing that later, lovely. We have a Baneblade cannon mounting attached to the turret. Yes. Yes. Huge! I do like the fact that it's not 1/35th scale, because Warhammer isn't 1/35th scale. Warhammer's called heroic scale because it's not realistic like that. But you can see how you can kind of get away with combining Warhammer figures with 1/35th scale armour. A lot of people that play Deathcore, when they just play with their mates and then they're not in an official match or anything. They often just use Tamiya 135th Panzer IVs and stuff, and they paint them up as Deathcore, and they have Deathcore dudes in the turrets. Because when there's nothing on the model that gives a sense of scale, like if it's not a car with seats and windows where you can see inside, like a tank, you can kind of get away with it. You could probably put 1/35th scale figures with this tank and it would look absolutely fine. In the same way you can put, you know, Warhammer figures. I put Cadian troopers alongside my 1/35th AML 90 armoured car, and it worked perfectly. Whereas I couldn't, of course, put some Warhammer dudes in that SDKFZ armoured car that I made the other month, because that's got an open top and you can see the chairs inside, and you can see, you get a thing that gives away the scale there. That is mint. That needs to sit and do its thing for a while. But that will go on there like that, you see. Now, unlike Ted's, mine doesn't do it automatically. I have to physically manipulate mine. Manipulate? Manipulate! Oh, there we go. Yes. God, this is huge! I'm so in love with this build. Yes! So then the cannon will go on the front here. I've got to be careful handling this because I don't want to kill my little bead of glue, which is there. So the cannon will go on there like that. Kaboom! Kaboom! Yeah. Oh, drop my end. Big nice gun. Does look like a Panzer IV, doesn't it? It's kind of cool. So that's that page done. Think about that. We've kind of done that. That's just showing you where to put it. So next we have the little turret that goes here with the bolters, and the big fat doobie gun that's called the big fat doobie gun, I've decided. Which is, see, there's not a lot once you've done this. Once you've done the 2 track units, the rest of it isn't that much to do. You've literally got to do a little turret there, the big turret here, a gun here, 4 sponsons, and that's kind of it, apart from little details here and there. There's not a huge amount to actually make. So it's not a complicated kit, the Baneblade. People look at it, oh, I could never build that. It's not that complicated. It's probably less complicated than most 1/35th armour kits. A Tamiya 1/35th Panzer III from 1974 has probably got more parts and more complex than this. Right, so the next bit is the little tiny front turret. Now it's probably going to take me more than we've got left to do that. So what I might do is leave it there, leave it on this point. I need to let that dry for a bit, and then that needs to be just a little bit of sanding on there just to smooth that little splooge where the glue splooged out. You're never going to see it, but it's nice. I know it's there, and it makes me happy that it's all cleaned and tidied up. I won't glue the turret, the cannon on, because that needs to be cleaned up. Little mould line cleaned up, or the seam, I should say. I can sit on there. I can see myself, because this has been a pleasant build. I can see myself building more of these in the future to paint and sell. Like I said at the start, this is my test bed build. I'll have this for my army. But I'll always, whenever I build something, I always analyse it to see how I enjoy the build. If it's something I really enjoy, then I know in the future I can go and make more and sell them. If I hate building something, if I've not enjoyed it at all, then I know that I'm never going to build it again and never going to sell it. So, for example, you know, I know I'm, aside from the ones I've got to build for George in the Warhammer Conquest set, I'm never ever going to make Space Marine motorbikes again because I hate building them. I can't stand building the horrible kits. So let's do it that way. Oh, my end fell off. So, but I'm enjoying this, and I could see myself quite happily, you know, of a week, 1 week, spending 2 or 3 days building one of these. Because once you've got this down pat, and you know what you're doing, you probably could build one of these in a couple of days. It's not that hard. I've done what, 6 hours so far, so you could build one of these in a couple of days. I can see myself in the future, when I can post things out again, building more of these. Get one, build it, paint it, different colour scheme, sell it. Because I know I can probably rattle one of these out in a week. 2 weeks at most, I think. I've not painted this one yet, but with a simple, not too complicated colour scheme, you could probably knock one of these out in a week and I could, sell it, or a couple of weeks. And it'd be a profitable thing for me to do. So I can see myself making more of these in the future. Yes. Yes! Sometimes a build can be really nice, but the cleanup process can be a pain in the butt. Like, this is a nice simple build, and it's not been arduous to do the cleanup because everything's been it's been a few little mould lines and seaming off some nubs, sanding off some nubs, and that's it. I've not had to panic about lots of things to be filled. If it was a build where I've got to like do lots of filling and sculpting and clean up, if I had like 10 of these cannons on that needed cleaning up and that kind of stuff, yeah, I'd get bored. Like doing these barrels on the back, filling all the gaps on the barrels on the back was about as far as I wanted to go. If I had 4 sets of these barrels, I probably wouldn't build another one of these because I'm like, I can't want to do that another 4 times. But no, I'm enjoying it. I've had fun so far. We do have the spare sponsor set, so I'll probably put extra bits on this. But I think we'll leave it there for today. We'll crack on next week with the little turret and the big boomy gun. A quick look at chat. Lynn Dipple waves the Canadian flag. No one gave you permission to bunk off early, Fox, says Steve. I give myself permission. I pardon me. I mean, I can sit and talk for the next 10 or 15 minutes if you want. I see there is another Carry On Film marathon on Crimbo and again on Boxing Day. Thank God I'm working, says Panzer. Yeah. Carry On films are great when you're a kid. Not really fun, though, for days. Fox appears to have mostly assembled a whole model on one stream. Weird, says Mince Pies. No, I only assembled this bit. And I put... What did I do today? I put the turret together. That fell off. I put the turret together. And I did that plate. And I put these 2 bits. I suppose, yeah, okay. Maybe it looks... yeah, I've done a lot today. I've done lots today. I've worked really hard and I've assembled many things. And I deserve your praise for that. Yes. And that gun still moves up and down when I glue it in place. I'm not going to glue it on though because I need to clean that joint and get rid of the nubs and stuff. So we'll do that next week. Very weird. I love SM bikes. I love Space Marine bikes, says Black Rifle. It's like I said to you in Colin's stream in the chat there. They do look fantastic and they're great fun to paint. It's the assembly of them I can't stand. That's what puts me off them. They look. I mean, yours look brilliant, but I love the look of them. They look fine. They're kind of chunky and Judge Dreddish. I like the way they look. I just can't stand building them because they're not... Like, this is like a modern kit and it goes together beautifully. The Space Marine bikes, they're kind of... They're not brilliant. The mold, the seams and the trim around the edge. And yeah, the ones I've built so far, I've never enjoyed. They're only little, but I had more hassle building one Space Marine bike than building this so far. So... I think they look great, but yeah, I don't. Oh, look at that! Ooh, I've got blueness from my ring. My ring's made me go blue. Steady. I think that's a sign of like. That was my belly. I don't know if you heard that. I think that's a sign of cheap metal or something. I must maybe not wear that again. Is Ted Blade today and Fred after your show? Says Lynn. Cool. Yeah, so don't forget to watch Ted tonight. My apologies, I don't know Fred's channel. I can't say go and watch that because I don't know which channel it is. So feel free to put in chat. But yes, it is. It's Ted tonight. But I'm going to guess it's at 9 PM. He normally starts at 9, but do check his channel, Skipper Scale Models, to make sure it'll either be 9 or 8:30. But it's not Chris tonight. It's Ted doing his Ted Blade. He's painting and weathering, so make sure to go and watch that. We missed the Blue Peter moments. Here's one we made earlier. It's a Baneblade, says Fester. Yes. All this is to come for you, my friend. All this is to come. Are you going to do lots of custom stuff on yours and like tweak up the guns and combine 6 guns into one and so you get like 6 different cannons, so you could assemble them all into one big massive cannon. I'm going to make this one straight. I'm not going to do that, but because I'm just figuring it out. But yeah, you could do a lot. I can't wait to see what Colin does with his. The new Primaris Outrider bikes go together really well. Oh yeah, the new ones. The new ones are probably fine. I quite fancy building some of those. But I mean the old original 22-year-old kits of, you know, old style Space Marine on a Space Marine bike. They are horrible. They're like 20 odd years old now though. They're really not. Oh, yeah. Fred is Model is United. That's the one. Yep. Go and watch Fred as well. It's still a tank, Cole, says Muse. Yeah, just treat it like a tank. And remember, Colin, you can do it however you want. There's no rules. Do whatever you want to it. It's your tank. You do what you want with it. Oh. And for the love of baby Jeebus, pimp it. Baneblade tank, says Scale Model Vamp. Yes, full custom LED and remote control turrets. Ooh, I see. I like the sound of that. Are you getting the? Are you making your own setup for the lights and the whizzes, or are you using like the one that Ted's got, or what you're doing? That'd be nice. Cool. I can't wait to see yours, Cole. Colin says I'm on tomorrow and Wednesday. Yes, Ted. What are you doing tomorrow, Colin? I know you're doing a stream with Dad tomorrow. What is it you're doing tomorrow? During the day. Pimp it in the chat. Pimp it in the chat. Don't just say I'm on tomorrow. Pimp it in the chat. Feel free. Feel free. Dates and times. Chris, for some reason, says Gunpla is freedom. Wait. Yeah. Warhammer's freedom too. Defo remote turret. Says Muse. Yeah, so pimp your stuff, Cole. What is it you're doing tomorrow? What time? And on Wednesday, of course, he's got the Wednesday stream that he always does, which is 8:30, 8 o'clock? No, 4:30 to half 6. I can't remember. Is it 4:30 to 6:30? The afternoon slot, isn't it? All my own circuits and stuff, says Colin. Cool. Yeah, because you know how to do that. I don't have a clue about that. And don't forget, of course, e-models tomorrow, as Chris says. Chris, e-models tomorrow at 9 p.m. GMT on the e-models YouTube channel. Which is tomorrow's. Which is it Chris? Is it your what's in store tomorrow? I do remember. I think. Colin's doing the Dragnut at the bench build. Yes, that's the one. 2 p.m. UK time. Yes, on his channel. Festa 67's workshop. On. Is that what you're doing tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow. You're doing that with Dad. Scaling models. Yes. I'm rubbish at remembering other people's streams. I'm terrible at that. The entire hobby is freedom and meditation, albeit a group one when we're all here, says Muse. Yep. People often say to me, how should I, like, you know, when they're making a model, how should they paint the, not like how technically, but what colour scheme should I use? What's the right way to paint X or Y or Z? And it's like, whatever you see in your head, paint it on the model. Your model, you're building it for your own cabinet. You're not building it for someone else's benefit, unless you're building it to sell it. You're making the model to enjoy the model, to enjoy it on your shelf, to look at it with your own eyes in the eye holes in your face. You're building it for you. You're not building it for Tom Johnson, the rivet counter, who is complaining because your Matilda tank isn't quite the right shade of, you know, khaki or olive drab or whatever. All you just say is, shut up, I'm building it for me. Thank you very much. Goodbye. There you go. That's the simple answer. You don't build these things for other people. Unless you're literally building it for someone else, in which case, yeah, you do what they tell you. Yes, I think it is my what's in store, says Chris. Prepare yourselves. Yes. I'll catch the reruns tomorrow, says Lynn. Colin confirms it is Chris's store tomorrow. So everybody get their massive thinking caps on, because you'll have to make sure you've got some kind of good screen grabbing software, because no doubt Chris will expect you to write down every single word and every description of the item and then pick out the words. It'll be the first letter of the fourth word of every item description. Steve says, oh no, not a Chris what's in store. I feel a migraine coming on. And Mew says, exactly, Foxy. Yeah, when you make a model, you make it for yourself. You're not making it for anyone else, unless you are, because you're being paid to. Yeah, if somebody's paying you to make a model, you do whatever they want. If you're making it for yourself, you do whatever you want. And nobody can tell you you're wrong, because not their business. Not their business. I have all day to prepare it, says Chris. Oh, dear Lord. Which reminds me, I'd completely forgotten about spending any time figuring out the buttons, so I guess you've got the buttons again tomorrow, Chris. I'd completely forgotten about all that. So, yeah, I'll just let you have the buttons tomorrow. We'll sort it out in the new year. Right, where are we up to? It's 6 o'clock. We'll give it a couple of extra minutes. got a thing on my nail where my fingernail's got a little bit sticking up and it's annoying me. Like a little... Oh! I didn't trim it properly. I've got to take care of that now. It's going to bug me. You know, like you have a fingernail, but there's a little bit because I didn't cut it right. Let me do that now while I'm live on telly. Riveting viewing. There you go. Lovely. Lovely. And the best bit about having a model's workbench with lots of sanding sticks around, you always have wonderfully filed nails. Exactly. I'm loving this so far. I'm so happy with this coming along. It's weird though. It is, and I do find this a lot with Warhammer. Everything comes out smaller than you expect it to be. It's kind of weird, like building my first Imperial Knight. You watch Duncan painting it, and it looks enormous. And people say, "Oh, it's a massive kit. It's huge. It's the biggest thing in the world." And it's like, it's only that tall. It's like smaller than a master grade Gunpla. And you think, they're not that big. So I'm often shocked with how small some of the big Gunpla, the big Warhammer things actually are. It's big, but it kind of, it's weird. I'm like, it should be twice as big, really. In my mind, it's twice as big. It's bigger than a 135th tank. So, yeah, it's weird. It's kind of odd the way things are never big as... We'll move on from this conversation before somebody subverts it into rudeness. Yeah. Well, tough puzzles are always the best puzzles, says Candygram. Fox, you weren't on camera, says Lynn. I know, I had my nail cutters over my rubbish bag. In my nail. I don't want to ping a fingernail across my desk. That'd be gross. Smaller than expected, FNAR, says Chris. Oh, yeah. I often file or clip my nails with my model tool, says Muse. Yep. I'm not sure I can handle a crisp connection after a Monday in work. I don't think you need to qualify it with a Monday in work. Just any time you can't handle a crisp connection. And I've just realised I didn't feel like there's little gaps here. I need to sort them out. It's going to be tricky now because I've glued all this together, but I can still sort them out, I think. Get them nice and smooth. If necessary, I can add plastic card as extra detail. Add details. Cover up that seam line, put a strip of plastic card so it looks like a piece of panelling. Put some rivets on it, and nobody will ever know. It's not like I just told the entire internet. That's a good idea, actually. Because this thing is covered in rivets. If I was to put a strip of plastic card over that, put rivets on it, who would know it wasn't supposed to be there? Nobody would know. Not anyone ever. Because I never said it publicly. Swiggy coffee. Baneblades are tiny. The mighty foe hammer is well bigger. This is true. Steve made a Baneblade, custom built a Baneblade, sort of, out of an old Action Force tank, which is probably, about twice the size of this, but with loads of Baneblade bits on it. It looks most impressive. I also like the fact on your Hoverblade, you've got the fuel tanks on the side. I like that. Did you just glue them with the little... Because I've got some spare fuel drums in my bonus sprues for the extra sponsors. I've got more fuel drums, so I'm debating whether to add extra fuel drums onto this. Maybe add a set of fuel, because that's basically, that bit's kind of blank and boring. So if nothing goes in there, I might add an extra set of fuel if I can cobble together something to put more fuel drums there, because if you're going to have highly explosive fuel drums on the back of your tank, you may as well have loads of them. Because Warhammer, you know what I mean? I could even put a fuel drum here. Why don't I put one on the side of the turret? How stupid would that be? It'd be Warhammer stupid. That's why it would be great. Because that's the thing. You think you have to remember about Warhammer. Because there's various levels of stupid, but nothing comes close to Warhammer stupid. Really. Really doesn't. Just spotted something I need to take care of. That it needs squishing. Squish. A little bit sticky up. There we go. Right, there's a little bit of sticky up there, so I might just need to sand that when that's all dried and cured. Little bit of a tiny misalignment there. I can get the file in there and just sand that flat, so that's no problem at all. Excellent. Let's get it back on there. I think you should always have your turret pointing up, if you pardon the expression. A little bit. Looks silly if it just points down. They just fit well there, Fox, and I needed to fill a space. Yeah, yours look good on the sides. On the sides, I think, can't they? Just look really good. So, yeah. Your whole thing looks awesome anyway. Chris's rat is probably bigger, says 9,000 mince pies. It's possible. It's possible. The thing is, right, you realise how big a tank is when it's 1/144th scale and it's bigger than a Baneblade on the tabletop. You're like, wow. Really want a Forge World Mastagon. What's a Mastagon? What is that? Is that the... I quite fancy... I like some of the Forge World Orc stuff. Over the coming, like, you know, next year or so, as I start working through my backlog and start clearing it, I might eventually start investing some money in some of the Forge World's Orc stuff, because I quite like look at some of them. That is cool looking, says Lindipple. I can't look to see what a Mastagon is. I do have, don't forget though, I do have in my stash the Mclaren Vanquisher, big Death Core tank, and the Malcador Infernus. But if you're wondering why I'm just going to do one, my one ever visit to Warhammer World, that's the thing I got. Yeah, big SM Space Marine APC. Oh, okay, I'll have a look at that. I won't, because I'll look at the numbers and go, oh, big numbers, big money numbers. Anyway, I think that's going to do us. That's enough waffle. We filled 10 minutes. Yes, thank you very much for watching, folks. Apologies for the hiccups at the start of the stream. YouTube does do that sometimes, or in this case, it was my broadband was weird. But just rebooting the router fixed everything. So thank you very much for your patience while I sorted that. Come back. I will be here for Warhammer Sunday next week, as far as I know. Like I said, there won't be a Friday stream or a Saturday stream this week or next week because it's Boxing Day and Christmas Day. So yeah, not doing a stream on Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Maybe. We'll see. So assume there's no Friday and Saturday Elite Dangerous. But there will be, of course, Sunday. I'll probably do a Warhammer stream. So I'll probably be back next Sunday at 3 PM. But stay tuned. I'll post in the Facebooks and Twitters and social medias anyway if I'm doing a stream. I probably won't do any streaming during the week, but if I can do some stuff during the week, I'll try. Again, like I said previously, I'm going to try and get time back with the Lehman Russ. That's still not finished yet. It's a difference in it. That's a Lehman Russ compared to a Baneblade. Oh, yeah, and fell off again. Oh, he fell over. Oh, everything's gone wrong. I will try. I say, the last few weeks I've been desperately trying to get this thing finished. Because once this is finished, it can get boxed up and ready to be sent out when I sell it. So I'm hoping to get some more of that done. But again, if real life takes over, probably not. So I'll either see you during the week at some point, some form or other. I'll see you on Monday for the model show. Or I will see you on Sunday, most likely, for more Warhammer Sunday. But until then, like I said, don't forget to watch Ted tonight at 9 PM. And of course, me, Chris, Cole, and Ted on Monday night, and Colin on Monday in the afternoon. So do check all those channels out. But I shall say, take care of yourselves. Thank you very much for watching. I'll make sure my buttons are still working. No, they're totally not. Let me refresh my buttons. Hang on. Hang on. Can't get the staff. Can't get the staff round here, you know. Start Stream Deck again then, shall we? Oh, Stream Deck, you're so unreliable sometimes. Right, we'll try that again.
Slap it on.
There you go. So my buttons are working. So take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome like this. Go be awesome. If I don't see you before then, have yourself a really, I mean, you will on e-models, but if I don't see you directly on one of my shows, have yourself a really great Christmas. I need to say good New Year. I'll see you before then. Good Boxing Day. Have a good week this week. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. Wash your hands. If you must go out, try and avoid going out anywhere. It's not worth it. But if you must go somewhere, please stay safe. Please wear a mask. Just be careful. But if not, I shall say Happy Christmas and all that nonsense. I'm sure I'll see you before then, but if not, I'll catch up with you next week. So take care of yourselves. Go make something awesome. Go be awesome. And until then, adios. See you soon.